That was so controversial. Sir.
Sure.
This man is not a hero, he's a criminal.
Shut up!
Hey everybody, hello there, and welcome. It's me, your buddy, Admiral Teag. It's good to see you out there. Hey, can you help me out and let people know that I'm live? I don't exactly get to plan these little weekday excursions. Well, they're planned. I don't really get to promote these weekday excursions. I depend on you guys to hit up the YouTube machine and get the algorithm going so that I can get some noise generated. That is the best way to wake up YouTube and to help me out with these various problems. One of which is a man with 3 audiences approaches YouTube, steps to the microphone alone with no panel and says, "I will entertain you if you would be so kind." So, with that and your kind indulgence, let me just thank everyone for being here. Let me see who we got so far. I see Buddy Hepburn. I see Wes Cagle. And I see that soon there will be more of us coming through. There seems to be 4 or 5 people watching now. I thank you all. More YouTube exclusive content. We've got lovely Sydney Sweeney for you to look at while I do my talking. And not so lovely Sir Pat Stew with his great toupee. One of my favorite avatars for you today. Well, what can I say except the Saturday show upload has been beyond successful. It is absolutely on fire. If you look at it now, you'll see it's about 350 views. People are hanging in there for a good long time. It has consistently shocked the hell out of me to wake up and look at the numbers this has done and see that it's done 10, 12 views every hour, no matter what. You know, sometimes they'll just do 1 or 2 views an hour and then come roaring back with like 20. We only finished the show out with something like 111 views. It was up to like 363 views last time I looked, and it was still just throwing along. It was so weird. It kicked in about 2 days later. This has happened a couple of times where there's a delayed reaction until Monday, and then on Monday, a lot of people just go looking for a download, and our Star Trek show has really started to catch on. I think the download audience starts to listen to it, and I thank everyone who's been part of making that a success. I thank you all. The likes have gone up too. So listen, the MCU. The modern MCU is now just a story about this character, Yelena, okay? Who is really hard to like. And welcome the NYPD to their daily, cameo on the show. Listen, the modern MCU is just a story about Yelena, who's really hard to like, in my opinion, okay? The character deeply dislikes herself. So who would want to follow in her footsteps? Who would want to follow her story? Who does she inspire to be like her? I suck, so be like me. I am Yelena. I suck, so you should be like me. I mean, I don't understand how that's appealing, but these writers can't write anything they don't know. And to that point, and it's good to see everybody saying hello. And listen, to that point, when we watch Thunderbolts. When we watch Thunderbolts Are Go, *, we see the coolest two people that they think, from the writer's perspective, the one they inherited who's supposed to be cool, that kind of anchors this franchise into Captain America-ness and into relevance, is Bucky. And then the one they want, that they think is cool, that they see themselves in, it's Yelena. And if you look at them, they dress exactly the same. Bucky wears like black jeans. Yeah, Thunderbolts is greater than Thunderbirds is greater than Thunderbolts, buddy. You're correct. If you look at Bucky and Yelena, their clothes are basically the same. Let me see if I can pull up the Thunderbolts ad. I'll show you guys what I mean. The Thunderbolts ad, there's a couple of different versions of the poster. Here's the one I most wanted. It's like, if I can get this on screen for you guys, I'll show you. Here we go. Sorry to cover gorgeous Sydney Sweeney. This will only be for a moment. Here's the Thunderbolts poster that we're most familiar with, right? Here's Yelena in front. Okay, Ghost without the mask. That's nice. Task Manager, why? Bob, again, in there in back. You could tell he's his father's son. We have two Nepo hires in here, right? The Nepo hires perform well, though. Bob is Liam Neeson is Bill Pullman's son. He's President Whitmore from Independence Day's son. Next to him, U.S. agent, is Wyatt Russell. He's Kurt Russell's son, right? Hey, Sean Carter has been a member of my channel since day one, 16 months ago. Admiral, I heard that Krimlon did something bad. He needs to be chastised. Krimlon. We will talk to Krimlon about his misdeeds. And wow, hey, I just saw all the American flags. That's good. We have a very, very special Admiral Teag show planned for you guys on Flag Day, because it's also Pride Day. So listen, if there's one thing that's overrepresented and it's time to have some satire of, it is gayness in Star Trek, right? So we're going to have fun. We're going to act like this is totally serious, and we're going to go at it, and we're going to have a Star Trek. It starts out with, it's a 2-week thing. It starts out with a very special presentation. We're going out of order for this one, but a very, very special presentation of Star Trek Enterprise. It's the episode Horizon with Mr. Mayweather, because everybody's pretty sure that maybe Mr. Mayweather might be gay, right? Because ever since his failure to be able to act a couple of episodes back, well, actually back in season 1, and the writer's reluctance to use this awkward actor in anything. I like how this picture doesn't block Sydney Sweeney's boobs, but too much. But check this out. We got this coming back for you. We have the Star Trek CSI update. That's coming for you too. We're going to watch Strange New Worlds, and we'll give you a report so you don't have to. We know that there's still interest in Star Trek, but there is no desire to watch it. So don't worry, we got this covered. And this is the leftover title from our Section 31 movie, but this really just says it all. It's the Star Trek Sci-Fi CSI, where we try to examine this forensic evidence and see how the hell we got this way. So, Sean Carter, I thank you for 16 incredible months. And Krimlon will, believe you me, when we see Krimlon, he will be chastised duly, sir. Duly chastised. And we will tell him that, our word is the law on this one. It's great. Wow, we got people starting to come in. If you've just arrived, welcome. Hit that like button. If you're coming through later, welcome. Hit that like button. It's me, your buddy, Admiral Teag, thanking everybody for one of the hugest Saturday shows we've ever had. Wow, it is just absolutely thumping along with you. Sci-Fi Mombi's here. Hello. It's good. Thanks for the like. You know what? We appreciate it. Here's the deal. We had a fairly average episode of Enterprise on Saturday, but it's like this. There was enough planning. There was enough time to figure it out. There's enough theming. We had the idea of a clue of what to do when we had technical malfunctions anyway. So we're going to play it that way. Every technical malfunction from now on. It turned out to be funny. I was only kicked out of my own show for like 90 seconds. It turned out to be funnier than it was embarrassing. Everybody handled it great. I thank my crew on that one. We had a really great out of the gate, funny beginning to the show where the guys did great while I logged back on. Then the comedy continued. We kept the really good comic pacing with the panel. I had a freaking great conversation. I was having such a good time. I didn't really look at the concurrence that much, but it was a healthy stream, healthy in the teens. Just like the best winter's days in the teens, and we were just enjoying ourselves, man. And it turned out that I don't know, like, if we have to worry too much when we move on to regular Star Trek, because right now the panel itself has such a good rapport and has feeling each other's timing out. It's like while I'm doing something else, JT and Sean are just cracking one joke after another, and then Germ will just like come like in with the surgical strike, with the smart missile strike, like boom, and just do something else hilarious. And so it's done. It's come a long way, and it really covers up for, one man needs to produce this thing. So I thank all you guys. So, and Buddy Hepburn saying hello. Let's check out. Look at Yelena and Bucky. This is our point here. Yelena and Bucky. Let's take a look. All right, Yelena and Bucky are wearing the same clothes because they're cool, right? And Ghost, I guess, is supposed to be cool, but they don't have a clue what to do with her. She says a couple of snarky things, but she's just basically an echo of Yelena. And Yelena, like I've said this a couple of times, if Florence Pugh is pretty, Disney's never bothered to show it to us, but look how similarly they're dressed. Look at Bucky and look at Yelena. Yelena's got the black leather jacket. Hers is like, I believe, the newer biker jackets that you can put the titanium plates in, and she needs them because she's not a true super soldier. She's got Black Widow training and like some sort of weak, watered down super serum like venom that she was envenomed with when she became a Black Widow. I'm not totally familiar. I watched that Black Widow movie. I'll be damned if I can remember it. Hey, JT, hell, working and lurking, just stopping by to leave you a like and a lurk. Thank you. Frat the commies. Get your vengeance, Admiral. Sir, I will get vengeance is ours. They task me. They task me, and I shall have them. I will chase them around the moons of Namibia and through perdition's flames before I give them up. I believe Namibia is part of South Africa. I believe it's the moods of Namibia. But who cares? Through the Antares maelstrom. I love Wrath of Khan. And I don't know which one we should watch for my birthday. Let's do a non-binding vote. Non-binding. Admiral's birthday view party. What should it be? Should it be a Wrath of Khan celebration? Or should it be a Patterns of Force celebration? Admiral's birthday theme. Okay, ready? These are the two possible themes. Wrath of Khan theme. That's one. And the second theme is springtime for Star Trek. I guess you guys kind of get that one. We'll have a little bit of fun stretching that analogy, and we'll watch Patterns of Force. Obviously, with the Wrath of Khan one, it speaks for itself. Springtime for Star Trek, and then we'll give you an option to like and see the results in case those choices are so overwhelming to you. It's non-binding, but I'd like to see what you guys think about this one. I think it would be funny to do it, but we will find out. All right, let's see. And we're never calling it Patterns of Force again. That episode is now called Springtime for Star Trek. JT Kirk, in one of the many jokes that goes by while I'm producing, when I re-listened to the show to see why this thing was blowing up so well, and I noticed we had really good comic timing. I was just, one of the things that he did was he was singing Springtime for Admiral for Star Trek. And I tweaked it a little bit, and then I listened to the regular song and worked on it a little more. And there is a song parody there. And then, oh my gosh, hey, Wes Cagle with the $2 super chat. I heart you. Patterns of Force, always play Yahtzee. We should, right? Listen, for a moment here, well, before I come back, Wes Cagle, I heart you, and I heart your super chat. I guess we'll see who wins in that poll. It looks like right now, Springtime for Star Trek has got 80%. Wrath of Khan, it's powerful. It's competing with Springtime for Star Trek, but it looks like people, this is non-binding, but it looks like people like the idea of Springtime for Star Trek. It's funny. It's funny to them, funny like a clown. And I can see why. It is funny and it is clownish, and we should be laughing at something like Springtime for Star Trek. Did they go a bit too far in a few too many places? Absolutely not. 24, 25 years after the end of World War II in Europe, and then a few months later in Asia, for them to explore the analogy of what if Hitler didn't die at the end of the war. They do it with Khan. Khan is just space Hitler. It was what if Hitler survived. A lot of people didn't believe Hitler was dead. Hitler died in that bunker. Too many people saw it. They didn't have a chance to coordinate their story when they were grabbed up. They all told different people who grabbed them the same story. They didn't talk to each other. Hitler went into that room. His marriage was even worse for him than my marriage was for me. But let's not say it was an uneventful marriage, because in the short time that Hitler was married, by the end of his marriage, he had solved all of Europe's problems by ending World War II in just a few hours. So the superpower of Hitler's marriage, man. Maybe I should get married for a little while, get a woman to girl boss up this show, get us up to 100 concurrents, and really just get us going. And 8 of you, wow, I am flattered, I am honored, and I am going to entertain by telling you that I did a little research on the MCU. Oh, I did a little research, and I found out that there are some things that, maybe they might not be telling us everything about this MCU that we hang out with. They might not have. There may be some things that they've been holding back from us.
That was so controversial. Sir.
No, it's true. It's true. And the MCU has become a really difficult place. And wow, yes, give the likes to Wes Cagel's Super Chat. Please give it likes. It needs to get as many likes as possible. Because I myself have a really hard time liking it. I can heart it, but it doesn't always like. Sometimes when I try to like a chat, the number becomes unstable and starts flipping back between digits, and on screen it's like spazzing out. And do me a favor, if you haven't liked the stream, have you tried the veal? Hit the like and follow buttons, please. Help me get up to at least 30 likes. That's the goal for every stream. But let's see, we have 6 votes already, and wow, springtime for Star Trek is starting to really tub thump Wrath of Khan. We probably will do it. Listen, the MCU, to start again. Hi, my name's Teag. The modern MCU is right now, because of the way Thunderbolts recast things, if they don't go with Cap being their leader, and by Cap, I mean Captain Sam Falcon Man. If Captain Sam isn't their leader, I guess it's Yelena. Yelena's the leader of the fucking Thunderbolts, whether I enjoy them or not. And I tend to not enjoy the Thunderbolts. I'm being quite honest. I find the Thunderbolts to be pedantic. And hey, Read by Nature, it's good to see you. We have people coming in, and do me a favor. Like I said, tweet off the browser that Admiral's live so that people can get on over here to Admiral Teague's place. And also, it's so good. It's so good. It's the best. People have said to me, sir. You have to have people tweet off the browser, sir. And that's, if you could tweet out that I'm live off the browser later on, that indemnifies me. And leave a comment. Oh, the comments are the best. I will at least answer with an emoji. Thank you so much. And even Kyle Cullen, I want to shout out Kyle right now. He's been coming by more during the show, but he's reliably leaves me a comment. Those comments after the show's over, hit refresh, leave a comment, and then, you can really help me out.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
No, it really does matter. People do care. Listen, believe me, that's the bottom line. So anyway, back to what I had for you here. The MCU, now a story about Yelena, is a tough sell. It's a story about a character who does not like themselves. That's what the problem Disney has all over the place, transposed onto one character. Our fans are horrible. If I was to be sold Disney tickets, imagine them selling me Disney theater tickets. They come to me and they say, sir, come see our movie, sir. Come see our movie. They come to me, these big, strong Disney women with tears in their eyes, and they say, sir, could you please come see our movie, sir? And I go, and I see the movie, and I couldn't tell you what the hell happens, except in the first 2 minutes, there's been a communistic message 2 of the last 3 times. Thunderbolts, not as much, but there was still communism in there, and it was pretty blatant. I don't know what the fascination is by this corporation. Are they trying to get us to believe that they're the good corporation that wants us to ultimately have communism? They are a women's rights corporation that has women in tears after every production they make. Look at the press conferences for Wicked. Look at those 2 women crying. Look at the women after every Star Wars movie. Look at Daisy Ridley cleaning the side of a building like a gigantic pair of eyeglasses. Oh my God. Wes Cagle is rooting for Team Hoshi. And we have quite the dogfight on that one. You know what? Before I go on to the MCU thing, I do want to say I'm glad that we'll get to about 60 of 98 Star Trek episodes, but I think it'll be a little higher. I think it might be 64 or 65. And it'll be nice to break ourselves out, because what's going to happen is things are going to get real profound when we get to TOS. And we're going to need to sometimes pump our brakes. And I think having the high quality leftover episodes of Enterprise that we know are going to be fun to talk about and get everyone together, and not necessarily need me to make a good video essay for every week, those are going to come in very valuable like week 2 or week 3 of making uploads, because some of these uploads could take a while. I was listening today and making notations on the last conversation. It's going to make for some good uploads, but right now the conversation itself and the upload as a whole is doing fantastic. And I thank everyone who's listened and everybody who's hit that like on that and this stream. So listen, I took this thing and took a look at the entire MCU, and it's like a lot like The Cage, okay, where Captain Pike is depressed by a job where we're supposed to be envious of. It wouldn't have worked out of the box. Star Trek would not have worked at all with Captain Pike. Why? Because Captain Pike hates his job. Because Captain Pike wants to be a peddler of flesh. Because Captain Pike hates being a Starfleet commander. And that's what we're supposed to be buying into, right? That this is this great thing. We want to be on a starship, and we want to be in command, and second star to the right, and straight on till morning. And so they have to go like a good deal younger with William Shatner. He's like 5-8 years younger than Jeffrey Hunter, which on TV and for a command level character is like a pivotal time. He should be Spock's rank at his age, at most. James T. Kirk's stellar career, the bookishness young, all the things that make that character, amazing, just, baked into that story that when they change from Pike to Kirk. So with Yelena, we have a Pike-like character. She hates herself. She does not like being a Thunderbolt. She doesn't think they make a difference. She does not have really a healthy relationship with this father figure, who was a father to her despite the fact that he's not her father, and he was only supposed to be pretending that he was her father on behalf of the Soviets. So he did it, and he tried to do a good job anyway, and he keeps getting called out for that one. Then, we've got him, allowed to be proud of his country. No one else is, though, but Yelena and Bucky dress the same. They are your cool people. They're dressed like the writers dressed in college, right? I would have killed for Bucky's jacket in college. Actually, I had Bucky's jacket in college. And she's got like a modern take on the same thing. And like the untailored tack pants. If she's pretty, they've never shown us. Is she, okay actress? She's okay actress who hates character and hates being in place where she is at. It is not fun to follow Yelena. If this comic book is good, you would never know from the movies. Are you Team Taylor Swift, Team James Taylor, Team Taylor Sheridan? And boy, wouldn't it be great if Taylor Sheridan could do Star Trek with the problems Star Trek's having. But listen, I rewound the SVU, right? The MCU. It's SVU for the MCU. It's NCIS. It's CSI time. They have had some problems for a long time. We're going to get to the bottom of it. All right. So rewinding back to 2023, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's coming after, I believe, Love and Thunder and the disaster of Wakanda Forever. So they couldn't put the brakes on this one. It's running rich with the fuel. It is $388.4 million. $388.4 million. Think of that. $1 million. 388. That's insane. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's what that is. Okay, $384 million. So you got your look at that. Let me uncover beautiful Sydney Sweeney for you. Wait, what am I doing here? Hello. Let me sir. There we go. Okay. So we're on the Thunderbolts. Okay, thank you. It's good to see Sydney back. $388.4 million for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Should have been called Wasp and the Ant-Man. Was this one 3? There's like 3.5 of these because he's woven deeply into Endgame. Estimated marketing cost 150 to 200 million assumed on typical MCU blockbuster campaigns, right? Estimated break-even point 970 million, give or take. 2.5 the production cost. 2.5 times the production cost is usually the break-even point. Profit to loss. The film grossed 476.2 million, falling short of 970 million needed to break even. Oh, assuming studios retain about 50% of the box office, that'd be 238.1 million. And subtracting production, 388.4 million. The estimated marketing, 175 million average. The film likely incurred a loss of approximately $325.3 million theatrically. Think about that. That doesn't include the extra money that it took to all the money that you lost while you were losing that money. It's the prestige, the loss to your prestige that happens. I mean, this is a disaster. That is a disaster for Ant-Man and the Wasp, okay? So maybe they're like, okay, it won't be so bad. It won't be so bad, but the critical reception was very poor. It starts to really take the veneer off the MCU. It was 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. 70% second weekend drop hurt its sales legs too. Second weekend sales, it dropped 70%. This one dropped more with less money at the top. I think this one dropped 74% or something like that. But then we have Next coming out. So that's February. March goes by. April goes by. May 5th, 2023. 2 years and 2 weeks ago. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. $250 million production cost is an industry estimate as specific figures vary. I couldn't find it directly cited in the provided sources that I was able to get. And, this would align to MCU norms, though. It's my $250 million guesstimate here. Worldwide box office gross was $845.6 million. That's from Box Office Mojo. It's also not directly cited in the provided sources, but it's widely reported. So what I mean is I looked at the Box Office Mojo sources. It didn't cite anything. It just, they said it happened, so it did. So this might be echo chamber. Estimated marketing costs, again, I'm guessing 100 to 150 million. Maybe they started to dial it back a little bit, but it's typical, estimated break-even point, about 625 million. Same matrix, 2.5 times the production cost. Profit loss, it's grossing 845.6 million. So it surpassed its $625 million break-even point, we assume. And assuming the studio retains 50% of the box office, that's 422.8 million. Subtracting the production cost, 250 million. The estimated marketing cost of 125 million. The film likely generated a profit of about $47.8 million with a decent Rotten Tomatoes on that one. The Guardians of the Galaxy has an 82% for a while there on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not sure if it's still like that. I mean, I got to recheck it, but I remembered that one kind of off the top of my head as that one did well. Release date of November 10th, 2023. 3 movies in the year. The third one being The Marvels on November 10th. So, sparing us the horrors of a memorial of a war is The Marvels, released on Veterans Day weekend. Thank you so much. Remember, this is what it all led up to. This is why we kept the Free Society. Production cost on this one, 270, we heard, 270 million. Worldwide box office gross, 206.1 million. Box Office Mojo is, again, not directly cited in the provided sources, but it's referenced as the lowest grossing MCU film widely. Okay, estimated marketing cost of 100 to 150 million, Read by Nature. 100 to 150 million, Read by Nature. They spent $388.7 million in that movie, and you haven't bothered to see it either. That's 2 of us. I mean, think about that, right? What we've heard about it makes us just kind of not want to see it. And it's a shame because the first Ant-Man was a lot of fun. Yet what happened was, if you over-succeed, they overcorrect into you as they start to slip and flail and fall. The Thunderbolts had moderate success, and we're talking moderate success. They're going to so overplay their hand in Thunderbolts. They're going to give you more Thunderbolts than you ever wanted. Believe me. Believe me. Okay, so the Marvels, production cost of about $270 million, worldwide gross of $206.1 million at the box office. Again, a little hard to nail that down. It should be easier, but there's deception and there's a fog of failure around these. The estimated marketing cost, again, I had to go with the estimate. I'm going to guess that they knew this was terrible and say maybe $100 million. Typical for MCU films, but low, like a third lower. Okay, so estimate or 25% lower. Estimated break-even point $675 million with the same matrix, 2.5 times production cost. Now, that would mean that grossing only $206.1 million, the film fell far short of the $675 million needed to break even, assuming the studios retained the 50% of the box office, give or take, which was $103.1 million. That's how much that would be. That's how much they would keep, $103.1 million. That's horrible. Subtracting the production cost of $270 million. You can see where this is going, folks. With an estimated cost of marketing, even $125 million was what I ended up deciding on, down from 150 average, right? The film likely incurred a loss of approximately $280 to $291 million theatrically. And a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes sort of seals its fate as far as no one's going to go back to watch this turd. 200, my God. 78.1% second weekend drop in sales, sealed its fate. Major flop. Next movie that comes along isn't as floppable. It's not as bad. Sir. The release date of July 26, 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine. Worldwide, its production costs are $200 million. Now that's an industry estimate. Again, we couldn't find it. I could not find it directly cited in anything that said it. Any place where it like got this number from. It just came out of thin air for everybody. Worldwide box office gross is said to be $1,337.1 million. Estimated marketing costs about $150 million. Break-even point would be about $500 million. Okay, so the profit loss grossing the $1,337.1 million. The film exceeded its $500 million break-even point by some degree. And subtracting production costs, $200 million. Estimated marketing costs of $125 million. The film likely generated a theatrical profit of about $343 million. So it's, for them, a massive hit, becoming the second highest grossing R-rated film domestically and globally. So they got to be happy with that one. And that one, a lot less terrible, right? Now we get into this very, very sketchy area. The area of Captain America Brave New World. Released on February 14th, 2025. They say it was $180 million. That is the only thing they'll say. Let's see. Sean Carter says Disney has to still be in the red with Star Wars. There's no way they made that money back. Yeah, no, there's no way they're in the black yet. They were trending towards it, but they shot themselves in the foot several ridiculous ways, and we'll get into that. But let's talk for a moment about Brave New World. They say it cost $180 million. I don't believe that. They say the global worldwide box office was $414 million. I'm a little sus of that too. Estimated marketing campaign. This thing went on for so long. They say it's $100 million, but I'm guessing it's because and this is why it's not part of my calculus either. This loss was written off in other quarters because remember, this is a really late movie. They did the publicity to run up to it once. The toys came out in an embarrassing way like 6 months early. All sorts of problems in this fucking movie. So at any rate, comes out on Valentine's Day. What better way to tell your fans you love them than like giving them a hybrid second-hand superhero retest and having new powers swapped in? Nothing like the comic book story, and with just a huge dose of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just engorged with it, like some kind of jelly donut of horror, right? Like the jelly being the MCU. All right, so the estimated marketing cost is 100 million. The break-even point then becomes about 450 million at 2.5% the production cost, like 2.5 times production, right? That's what I'm saying. 2.5 times. So 250% more to make money, right? That's when you start making dime one. Profit losses, it grossed 414 million. Okay, maybe falling short of the break-even point, assuming they retain 50% again. They would need to make their take is 207.4 million, right? So the film likely incurred a loss of 72.6 million theatrically. That's admitted. Critical reception was terrible. On Rotten Tomatoes, as I like to call it, 48%. Only 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. And 68.3% second weekend drop limited his performance. The thing is, it's not as huge. You know, it started out kind of lower. There was curiosity enough to get it to the 180 million. But that's $20 million less than what we saw for the opening weekend of Deadpool and Wolverine, right? That was a great opening box office weekend. It was a massive hit, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's the highest grossing R-rated film. I think it's the highest R-rated film ever, not just that year. So, Brave New World, mixed critical performance reception. It ends up losing at least 72 million, if not more. They could not save this thing. The marketing team that pitched this film should be revealed as a new Avengers lineup after premiere should be fired. Yeah, fired. I don't know. See, I don't know if it was a good idea, but you might as well. Like, it was so meaningless. Like, they held back some of their production. And here's the thing, you know what? I'm thinking about it now. You're right. No, you read by nature. You're right, because here's the thing: the second weekend drop for Thunderbolts is still huge. It was still huge. It was like one of the top 3 ever, and it didn't start very high. And that 95% audience score and the A- cinema score, I don't believe it, but it had a 55% minimum second weekend drop. But I had heard higher numbers by a lot of other people. Maybe there's more numbers came in, or maybe that includes domestic. I didn't search it as well as I could have, but Thunderbolts, let's just say the book isn't closed yet. We're only into like weekend 3 coming up, right? Or just behind us now. Weekend 2 just happened. Weekend 3 is coming. Yeah, you know what? Like, it didn't save anything or change anything. And anyone who saw the movie is going to tell you the way they become the new Avengers is so cheapened by the fact that the villain of the movie kind of wins. Only way to put it. There's 2 villains in this movie. One of them is the bigger villain. They're the man behind the man. And of course, because it's Marvel, that would mean that it's the woman behind the man. But note, the profit loss caveats of my notes, the theatrical profits and loss are estimates, okay? They're based on box office revenue, production, and marketing costs is what I put together. And additional revenue from home media and streaming like Disney Plus. The merchandise is not included. Maybe that offsets costs for films like Captain America, Brave New World, but I don't think so. I don't think anyone wanted the Captain Sam, Falcon Man thing. Conversely, films like with high budgets like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Marvels remain unprofitable, even with, any revenue that might have bought them. And I don't think it bought them much revenue. I think merchandising is dead for this. Box office context is that the Thunderbolts performance is ongoing, and it's in its final gross may improve, with what it's going to end up being a strong word of mouth, because people will say 75% of people will say it was okay or it was pretty good. Only 25% of the people are going to hold it to the same standard I did, but I'm going to take that film at face value. It was pushing communism again. I'm sick of it from Disney. Maybe that's what I just can't take any more of this glorification of communism in every Disney movie. Snow White, they're singing it from the rafters. But yeah, the way they become the new Avengers is there's a rug pull. They go after the bad guy. The bad guy seems to have something set up where they jump from point A to point B by jumping beneath a plastic tarp. And on the other side of the plastic tarp, there's a whole media spread. and they're taking pictures and they're asking questions, and the bad guy just goes, "Hi, I'm in charge here, and these are the new Avengers." And the new Avengers just simply are morally derelict from their inception by not setting upon the person who called them that and saying, "Well, we might be what this, but right now we don't know anything except she's pretty freaking evil. She's responsible for some carnage. She's responsible for some death, and she's pretty damn evil." But they don't do that. They just stand around, and they've been outmaneuvered by Veep. Just outmaneuvered by her. She's that much smarter. Selena Kyle, that much smarter than them. But, Quantumania and the Marvels are unprofitable, right? And in the box office context, we got the data limitations, exact marketing costs, and revenue splits vary by film and market. Some figures like Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine rely on industry estimates rather than provided sources, because all I got is one industry source saying it and everyone else repeating it. Gross figures for older films from Box Office Mojo or industry reports, while the Thunderbolts data is current as of the 11th. I couldn't get any closer than that, okay? But you know what? Critical Drinker really hated this movie, and I hate this movie. I was glad to see that he shared my contempt for it. I thought it was low effort and terrible Marvel garbage. You tell me, though. Guys, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not bother with this movie. I would not go to see it. And as far as this movie, I would say to Bob Iger and Kevin Feige,
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
no one wants to see this movie. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And by the way, I was surprised to find out that Anson Mount is still, has not blocked me on X, which is a good thing, I guess. But wow. Can you believe that as far as the whole thing with the MCU? I walked you through the last 4 movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it's an abject failure, but it brings money through the bottom. The money wheel spins, it just doesn't stop at a profitable place. Guardians 2, the wheel spins again, not as fast. It needed to get to $625 million, but it makes $845 million. So maybe it made some money for them, maybe $50 million. All right. And the critical Rotten Tomatoes on that is still pretty good, whether we know it's BS or not. I haven't seen that one. That's one I haven't seen. The Marvels, another one I haven't seen. $270 million, gross $206 million, objectively lost about maybe $300 million. And no one's going to circle back to see it. It was disliked. Deadpool and Wolverine, it spins the wheel well. They stir the drink right. They make their money back, and they make a profit. Finally, some money in the till. Finally, some profits. And so Deadpool and Wolverine, that's a new A+. Not for us, the critics, but for them, the money people, the producers, Disney. They're like, that's our A+. That's it. That's our A+ right there. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. That's the best we need to do. So that's the new standard, right? Because the bar's been pushed way down. So Captain America: Brave New World, that one, there's some money thrown at it, but not a lot. Doesn't get close to its break-even point, and that loses no less than $72 million. And I think it's a lot more. And I think that they had to do major work to keep that Rotten Tomatoes at close to 50%. It's the first MCU film, I believe, certified rotten. 2025's Thunderbolts. Always in motion, the future is. We'll find out more, but it would seem that, to me, changing the movie's name, and they didn't change it. It's not changed on the marquees. It's not changed in marketing. It's not changed anywhere. There was just a small side campaign where it said New Avengers on the other side of the asterisk came first, and then it said New Avengers on the other side of the asterisk. So there was a slightly updated and revamped marketing campaign for this movie, and they tried to get you to realize that the Thunderbolts are going to be the Avengers, and how that'll be interesting with Sentry and the team will be something to see, because Sentry, as cool as he was in the moments he had, and as much as I enjoyed the performance by Bob, by Lewis Pullman. As much as I enjoyed his performance, that character is too OP. They have a hard time applying him properly in the MCU. and they're going to have a hard time applying them They had a hard time applying them in the comics. They're going to have a hard time applying them in the movies. There's a reason why we didn't know who Sentry was. He's way too powerful. We're going to need to explain why he's not around too. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. Yeah, he is Bill Pullman, so you could tell by looking at him. You could tell. He's a little lankier, but he looks like him. And his hair is very similar. Because Bill Pullman, like, when he's he looks like Lone Star era Bill Pullman, because that's the age he's at right now. He looks like young Bill Pullman. But that's our Thunderbolt story. My God, yuck. We can get Yelena off of there. Oh, she looks like Billie Eilish, but I mean, she also, like, Billie Eilish sometimes shows off her figure, and sometimes just as nice. Yelena always looks terrible. Yelena walks around talking in exposition. Yelena, you are Tony Stark, who was known as Iron Man, who had no heart, who died, and now came back as the Doomsday Man. You don't impress me. Go fuck yourself, Iron Man, Tony Stark. That's how Yelena talks. That's how everyone in Thunderbolt talks. Bucky, that look on Sebastian Stan's face just said it all, man. It's like, he's just like, why? Why am I in this movie? Why am I in this movie? Look at him. Look, it's like, why? Please, sir, can I please not be in this movie, sir? I mean, it's really bad. He is just, in this one, they tried to do him a favor, I guess, by having him be less associated with what was going on. And they give Bucky a break and let this movie mostly fail without him being, they say he's the leader of the Thunderbolts, but I mean, how could he be still be the leader? You know, I mean, when Yelena's calling every single shot, all the time. Now, I want to see if there's any updates on this one. But the last we checked, Jay-Z had done nothing wrong, but P. Diddy, who's not from Queens, we had a testimony today. Shocking testimony in day one of the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial. Now, we had one cooperating witness we knew was going to show up. Look at the ABC News guy. This is hilarious. Look at his face. Look at him. You can just tell it's not going to be good. You can tell. It will not be good. All right, let me get over the news here, so that we're transforming it to a degree. And let's hear what the news people have to say.
Gripping much of the nation. Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls.
Right, we know that. He was a big name in entertainment. What's happening now, though? You're not telling me anything I don't already know. Let me see if I just can't engorge myself and embiggen. There we go. So that I cover this more completely. And let's hear what he has to say.
Accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars.
Oh, bad stuff. So this is what I can tell you. Sean P. Diddy Combs, he had it all. He had fortune, he had fame. But this story has some visual content that people find disturbing, so I'm going to turn it off and just read the captioning. But we're seeing the press spray. We're seeing some of these people walking in. This woman, Cassie, I forget her last name. She's walking in with her lawyer. They're refusing to comment on the courthouse steps. They're walking into the court at 500 Pearl Street in Manhattan. And the courthouse for the trial for disgraced mogul Sean Diddy Combs. He's inside along with the prospective jurors. He's facing multiple charges, including racketeering and sex trafficking. And he's famous for hits like Bad Boy for Life. The thing that's crazy is, he was a success story in all of this until, suddenly things just turn bad and he becomes a horrible person. But the saga continues, He had hit after hit. He had a successful design company, but he was charged with trafficking, transportation for pro-ism, and racketeering conspiracy. So, in other words, there's some organized crime aspects to this, and he's 55 years old. He could spend hypothetically, if he gets 30 years, that's like in jail. 85 is pretty big ask, isn't it? He's pleaded not guilty, by the way, and it was they're saying it was monumental. At one point, he also had the actual key to New York City, by the way. I remember that. Bloomberg gave it to him because he was promoting the New York City Marathon. and now he's on trial facing criminal charges. It's a complete downfall for this guy. He may say when Steiner gets here that everything will be fine, but we know that Steiner, is not going to arrive. Let's see. Century was interesting in the original New Avengers run, but they lost me on the character in Dark Reign. They wallowed in him being a villain. In this one, they stay so surface level, they don't do anything. Did they find the missing witness? We're going to find out. I don't think that witness has circused. There are freak-offs, according to some witnesses, and these were sex marathons, and some of them lasted days, and they were fueled by things like ecstasy or other party drugs, and the women were not allowed to, depart if they wanted to, so the highly anticipated at the trial is Cassandra Ventura, a singer better known as Cassie, who is at the center of this now infamous video where this video I can show you. Let me tell you something. This video, folks. Crazy P. Diddy. He's running around acting like an idiot. He's chasing her down. Done some bad stuff in a hotel room, and I can't show you that he does. He's a maniac. He's a madman. He's a real piece of shit for what he did. I can say that objectively, outright. Here she is in happier times. Let's see her. She's a babe. Okay, and so that's 2016. So it takes a long time for this stuff to really come around and get. We're gonna find out. I'm looking for her right now in my refrigerator. Oh, could that be her finger or a chicken finger? Let's find out. All right, but I do not think the missing witness is surfaced because even their lawyer had disappeared. But the evidence was shown to. There was some more evidence shown to jurors today, and Cassie Ventura testified. Okay, there's videos and photos that prove the violent encounter. They're saying that everyone in the court was leaning in and focusing and watching the video, and you could hear a pin drop in the courtroom. Apparently, security guard who came onto the scene in the aftermath of the attack testified that Diddy had a devilish stare, and Cassie had a purple eye. So, aligning with everything we think. And another witness says they paid to have, it's going, let's see. So Cassie, not looking too good there as far as physically. Another witness was alleging he was paid to have sex with Cassie while Diddy watched. And then he had to do weird things with P. You heard it right. This is all on Nightline tonight, too, by the way. I'm getting this from. So you heard so much about, the sex during the prosecution's open. The defense is opening, and the defense is opening. You heard about oral, and then you hear about missionary and all this stuff, and then you hear about this baby oil, whatever. Who knows what's up with that baby oil? We heard a few things about baby oil. Some of the baby oil that they grabbed had fentanyl in it. They say, okay. So you heard all this stuff, and it's like, so it's not for prudes, and people are just like, what the absolute hell? Cassie and Diddy were in this relationship for almost a decade. And she's got hits during this time. She looks great. She's a beautiful, gorgeous woman. At least I haven't seen what she looks like these days. Running into court, she's like hand over her face, and her lawyer's just like blocking off the media. She was a stunning woman in the videos and stuff at the time. And graphic and disturbing 2023 civil suit against Diddy really messed him up bad. And thank you, everyone who's here. We got a few people who seem to have wanted in. Thank you. So the criminal investigation into the mobile, he did not, really was hurting him. He keeps denying stuff, he settled the lawsuit without admission of wrongdoing. But then, with the mother of his children arriving in court to support him along with Combs' spokesperson, obviously, it's a horrific time for his family, but, they're trying to hold steady and they're pulling the whole faith thing. But this is not looking good for P. Diddy, Puffy Combs. I am glad that he is not from New York City. I am glad that he is from Sleepy Hollow. I'm glad that when he relocated to New York, he did not live in Queens, but Brooklyn. He is Brooklyn's fault. He is not our fault. Maybe he's in enough trouble that we find out what goes on with the Notorious Big, or maybe this woman is with the Notorious Big right now. But they say he's going to take part in his own defense. The different sides delivered their opening statements and making their case. The all-female prosecution team say that Combs trusted inner circle to commit crime after crime. He used them, by proxy. including stuff like kidnapping, arson, and sex crimes, allegedly. Prosecutor Emily Johnson is saying that Sean, that's, the real Sean Combs. That's what he does. And in public, this Puff Daddy, this cultural icon and businessman, he's larger than life, right? And there's another side to him that's criminal. That's what the prosecution is alleging. The prosecution is saying that he had this inner circle, this posse, this group of people, whatever you want to call it, that would go out there and do things on his behalf, and that these acts, were done to further criminal conspiracy. And that's where the racketeering comes in. It's an ongoing criminal endeavor. And, he's got everything. He's got hostages. He's got... now, okay, let's see. As far as at least 3 alleged victims of Diddy are expected to testify, and a woman prosecutors are referring to as Jane is going to testify. All right, so we're going to find out this is Jane right here. I'm reading it right now with you. During the arguments, prosecutors alleged that Diddy forced these women to participate in the so-called freak-offs. It's a good punk band name. I'd go see the freak-offs. And they're instructed how to look. Yeah. Here, put on the sexy stuff, blah, 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 wear these heels. Have, even down to what kind of manicures they have. And, the defense is arguing these relationships were consensual and not coerced. Now, the rapper lived the swinger lifestyle that was fairly open at the end there. Yeah, how can you deny it? And the defense wants to say that these women are all adults and that they're all consenting to this willing participation in these freak-offs, which, by the way, if he's pulling that off with consent, more power to him. I mean, that's what do you become famous for? Isn't that why people become rich? But I mean, anything untoward, if he was drugging people or coercing them, shame on him. So it looks like defense attorney Tenny Gergo is saying in her opening statement that may not have been what you like to do in the bedroom, but you're not here to judge him for his preferences. She later added, being a willing participant in your own sex life is not trafficking. She was trying to say that. And then we see the crazy video again. The video it's just, he looks like such an idiot in it. And he's being an idiot. He's a terrible, terrible guy for that. These terrible acts, this terrible, terrible man. And let's see. We're gonna try to find out. We're going to try to find out. What is this? Oh, yeah. Hey, if you're new to StreamYards, try doing this. I put that out there by mistake. You can accidentally generate that one. It's now much easier to do than it used to be. But the disturbing video is part of the defense's opening argument, saying it was an instance of a domestic thing. Yeah. And they're trying to say, that's not trafficking either. So that seems to have some validity. I mean, he is a brutal, maniacal animal, but proving the trafficking part, that's going to be something, It's, and a major thing here with racketeering. If you do anything criminal, especially in the state of New York where this has happened, if you have an ongoing series of crimes, it is called racketeering, and investigations are compelled. They have to go forward with an investigation because the crime is too serious to ignore. If you have even a little bit of evidence of racketeering, they have to go forward and look. So these aren't the crimes the defense said that he's charged with, is what a lot of analysts are saying, So, so he's a criminal. He's just not the kind of criminal that they're saying he is. So reproving his guilt on something else isn't going to help them, they think. So the first testimony in the trial is taking jurors to the Los Angeles in March 2016 in the hotel where the video is taken. Okay, so we saw that. They see that, and we're pretty much done with the account of the today's trial. The LAPD officer who worked security in the hotel responded to a call from a woman in distress on the 6th floor. So when he got to that floor, he noticed that there was glass on the floor, and the vase with the flowers in it was broken. Security guard described the going back to Diddy's hotel room and standing in the doorway while Vento grabbed her things. Okay, everything there was chaotic. Inside, another man sitting in the corner of the bed. So from the very start, the first witness brings the jury into that hallway where this thing is said to have happened. In most cases, we saw it on video, right? And of course, again, more about the devilish stare. Cassie Ventura with her purple eye. Sean Combs trying to offer people money to make things go away. This guy said that he didn't take the money. He told him to go fuck himself. The second witness to take the stand was Daniel Phillip, a man who said he was a man who said he was paid to have sex with Cassie. By the way, this is the picture we get of this individual. He got this guy, this handsome man, also got paid to have sex with a beautiful woman on multiple occasions at several high-end New York City hotels where Diddy watched. That's the operative thing. They did this in New York. There's a much higher criminal bar in New York. People say that New York is this woke, crazy place. There are a lot of woke people here. It can be crazy, but it really is more a law and order town. People have the luxury of being somewhat outspoken because they all agree that they're going to back the police. And there are protests here, but you're going to find by and large, it's like a Grateful Dead tour. It's just this cause, this whatever it might be, whose flag should fly wherever, people doing whatever kind of protest, be it at Columbia or any other place, that goes from town to town. When it gets big enough, it comes to New York. It comes to New York, and it's the biggest thing, it's the biggest day they're ever going to have. Yeah, we do need the Benny Hill theme here so for what he did. And when it comes to New York, it's everybody they picked up along the way, like a Grateful Dead tour. There are few, if any, people from New York in any of this stuff. So the witness is paid $700 to $6,000 for each time. $6,000. What do you have to do for the $6,000 if 700 was start? And by the way, if she wasn't involved in all this stuff, all she has to do is say, hey, Teag, what's going on? I'm interested. She's beautiful. So, Mr. Phillip agreed to the Grammy Hotel, agreed to go to the Grammy Hotel and do a performance for the bachelorette party. And that's at least what he thought. But when he got to the hotel room, Cassie opened up the door and I guess, he didn't know it was Cassie. And she told him, well, it's my birthday. And my husband wants me to do something special. So can you, give me a massage with this oil? And we can just, take it from there and see where it leads. So Diddy is allegedly in the corner. So during these meetups, he says Diddy would often give him directions and tell him, to step off and back up because, he was going to get some. Oh, jeez. Combs' children, the mother and their mother came to court to support him. I would spare my family this. I would spare my family this. Billie Eilish should have been Uhura on Strange New Worlds. Changed my mind. You know what? Why not swap it to Billie Eilish? And I would say this too. New Uhura is also had her looks nerfed. That zero crew cut, making her shave her head. She at least can wear a wig. It's not going to hurt her career as much, but she actually, by mistake, they showed us, has a great figure. They have hardened her as much as they can. Hardened her like one of Saddam Hussein's hardened Gulf War targets. They put Viagra on the lens when they filmed New Uhura. It's a shame. And you like that nickname, New Uhura? So anyway, it became graphic, and his children, finally, the mother of his children got them out of the room when they started talking about delivering, when a male is to deliver his issue, so to speak, and about other stuff that's wet down there. It was just too much. And they actually ended up doing a pivot. They walked in, heard more crazy shit, and had to walk out again. It was like a boomerang. Witnesses describing witnesses Diddy dragged and hit Cassie, bad stuff, and then prosecutors asked why. When asked by prosecutors why he didn't intervene, he said his thought was that a lot of people thought that maybe he thought someone with unlimited power, and the chances that even if he did go to the police, that he might still end up losing his life. And you know what? To wit, where is Biggie? Where is the other witness? Cassie is now 8 months pregnant and is expected to take the stand tomorrow. Cassie's case, Cassie Ventura, has not spoken about this publicly except in the civil lawsuit. And she's taking a witness stand, and she's going to be their star witness. And her husband and father of her children is spotted in court today, and if convicted, Combs can face life in prison. And I don't mean sentenced to life. I'm saying he can spend the rest of his life, but I don't know. I'm not legalistic enough, and I'm not down enough to tell you if he's going to do life, but I can tell you this, man. This is some sick shit. This is some sick shit. He's a sick bastard. He's a weird guy. And I think that this is one of the craziest stories we've ever covered here. I can tell you this. I don't think that I would want to be his lawyer. And so Cassie's testimony, devastating in itself. The thing here is he's already been found guilty of or had to deal with all these crimes, or they've aged out, timed out. The thing that they're looking to prove, they might need that. It looks like they expect that witness to show up now. Let me double check. Missing Diddy witness. So funny. I never thought I'd be typing this. Missing Diddy witness. It auto completes. She still appears to be missing. It's still saying to be 4 days ago, 8 hours ago. Offer bizarre defense of freak offs and baby oil. This is what I was just reading. So Cassie's going to really have people hating him, but what is he going to be guilty of? Lead prosecutor Maureen Comey told U.S. District Judge Aram Subramaniam last week that they were having a difficult time contacting victim number 3 and her attorney. Prosecutors had mentioned victim 3 planned to disclose very personal explosive details concerning abuse she allegedly suffered under Combs. It looks like she might be the most important to the part that makes him into some kind of an operator. Oh my God. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the large influx of people watching my show. I want to thank you so much for being here. And it's so great for you to show up. And it's, you know what? I've been told that a lot of times it's real. So do me a favor, hit those like buttons. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. It's great to see you. And I'm just doing a little double checking now. Well, 327 concurrents. What an incredible accomplishment. What can I say? I don't know what to make of it. We have hundreds of views already, and it's tallying up. So it is a good moment. I don't know if it's exactly 329, but we do have a lot of people here. If you just got here, this is what we figured out. We went through the last 4 MCU movies, and they've gone from absolute fail to hit, miss, and break even, which is a good thing for them, considering how bad things have been. And we mean bad. Real bad. And you know what? It is a shame. We were doing great here. We were holding steady with 10 people. And I just, wow, just a real strange wave in the analytic here. Like I said, guys, if you are real, if you are for real, do me a favor, hit that like button, prove it. Show us and open your browser for a couple of minutes. If you open your browser for a couple of minutes, it validates that you're real. One of the other things that we've heard from YouTube is that this is done by people who are listening to but not watching the show. That is YouTube's excuse for this lately. Okay, so we'll find out one way or another. But YouTube's current excuse is that people who are watching but not opening their browsers. There have been a couple of occasions where we have gotten hundreds of likes, which would indicate that that is for real. But I would point out that there are also 329 people watching the Comic Relief Crusader, whose show I'm just going to freeze it right now, and I'm going to show it to you so that you can see this one, okay, for your own eyes. Here is Comic Relief Crusader's show. Comic Relief Crusader also has 330 viewers, okay? So it looks like someone has turned on a weapon of mass destruction. Hello, Padawannabe. Padawannabe, you ever had this many people watching you before? Except that when we got... So something was turned on, and look at that. 331 people watching both shows. Goodness gracious me. Isn't that interesting, huh? Yep, please like the stream and subscribe. Thank you, all 300 people here. You know what? It's gone down a bit, but it does kind of look like somebody set off their little YouTube WMD, and it just didn't work out. Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? 300, so between two shows, 660 people watching this analysis. Spider-Man Noir, no one cares. Fallout News, no one cares. He used the letter A and the letter D 2 times in a row each, either because he was having a seizure or because he needed 2 A's in a row to get people to pay attention. But isn't that something? Isn't that something? So both shows swarmed. For the first time ever, Comic Relief Crusader has been swarmed. You saw the proof here on my browser. Sorry, guys, I disappeared for a moment there, but I was here. So isn't that just strange? We see it here. Comic Creep Crusader having the same problem as Admiral Teag, or the same blessings. I don't know. But look at that, folks. 329 people watching this and 329 people watching him. It's not a coincidence. This is what happens when you have a YouTube stalker. And sometimes, like, you have people who create kaboom booms, right? And the problem with being a kaboom boom maker is the kaboom boom will often go off on yourself. And wow, here's some of the strange names that show up in my chat or in his chat right now, including some of the ones that I doubt are real. But wow, I see a couple of people jumping in and out of both chats here. But it's just pretty interesting. You know what? That this would happen to both people. Explain how that happened. Wow. So not just my show, but it would seem as though the computer that this bot swarm originated on, just when you made the kaboom boom, sometimes you kaboom boom, shaboom boom on you. Interesting stuff here. Breaking news. We have bot swarms all over YouTube. It is going absolutely freaking crazy here. And I don't know that I'll be able to really keep the stream, but that's why we got to go on once a week. So the attempt to attack ends up backfiring. And so what, you know what? Our fates will be shared. And if you think that, I've never said who I suspected to when I have to inform YouTube of what these weird engagements I have, you are wrong, because I have said, this is who I think it is. I mean, do I put a strike in the shadow? Nope. Yeah, 330 people. He's got 12 likes. Yeah, one's from me. I felt bad for him. So, I mean, really, it's 11. How many likes do we have over here? People, help me out. Help me. You know, I'm going to say it right now. This guy is a fraud and a liar, in my opinion. And I have the freedom of speech in this country to say that. His little WMD that was meant to mess up people went off all over him. And that's the final word. It's him. What could say it more than that? Doesn't he realize he can't control it once he uncorks it? What an idiot. We saw evidence of this last time where he shot up to like 60 viewers for like a couple of minutes. It seems as though the technology is more and more antiquated and less focused. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of this one. But hey, now that the stream has been bot swarmed and thereby thoroughly ruined, it doesn't matter how long I stay on the air, because I'm probably going to have to delete this analytic anyway. And you know what? One good turn deserves another. Hey, Gavin Blackburn, hello. Hello, you are real. To be real. You know what? Yes, you are real. And we have no way of knowing for sure that this isn't like we said. YouTube has informed me, they have said to me, Sir, there are people who listen to your show and show up as concurrents, but you don't get a view for them, sir, because they don't open the browser. So please, if you're out there, East Kegel is here. Hello, East Kegel. I mean, hell, Admiral Teag. Hell. Just came by in case my evil vote for springtime for Star Trek. That's right. Let's take a look at our democratic system playing itself out here on a channel. 59 minutes ago, I asked you guys to the tune of 22 of your votes, Admiral's birthday theme. Would it be Wrath of Khan? It's fed for, whoa! Wrath of Khan theme, 45%. Springtime for Star Trek theme, 45%. Like the stream, another 9% of all of you are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people have agreed to like this stream on my behalf. And by the way, this is what an attack looks like. This is what an attack looks like here. All right. So right here, you see how the engagement is doing fine for a while there. It's right there around 9-10 people doing all right. And then just kind of jumps up there out of control, sort of crazy. But I think what happens is the bot swarmer may have gone a bit too far in a few places, because this one seems to have blown up all over the person who generated the swarm too, at least if we're going with my opinion. As I pace about my office, and it looks like, let me see what's going on with our concurrent views. Will we ever have the concurrents match the amount of views? It was going up though. I mean, there is a possibility. Nah, it's not. It's not that real. But you know what? If you are here for the first time, I welcome you. I thank you. So yeah, right. Give the M5 the wrench.
M5, you cannot be wrong. You are great. I am great. M5, look at the starship out there, M5. M5, you have murdered. We have. To take life is the most profound moral act.
How dare you? He had a mechanical arm.
Oh, hey, okay, now it's just cut in half. I wonder what's going on over at Packlead Freighterland. At Packlead Freighter, the storm is still at full intensity. All right, so here we've got the storm has dropped off, and ooh, no, it topped right back up. We're up to 330. Wow, they cannot. This is one of the more, see, whenever we get attacked, it's usually a steady 300 that are watching, lurking, faking it. You dirty, lousy, cheating fakes. Anyway, if you're real, please give me a like. I'm sorry, this happens. What can I do? I can tell you. I wish this had happened. I can tell you all about these storms, but you know what? Talking about it, it's become a bore. And you know what? Let me ask my advisor, Don. Don, should I explain the bot swarm more?
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
You sure about that?
Sure.
All right. We'll drop it. Admiral Teag, that's right. I have the high ground. Hello. It is hoy and contentment. It is the gift of Admiral Teag. You're trying to do, I saw you. Okay. I know what Gavin Blackburn's going to. Joy and contentment to you, friend. May the peace of Landrew be with you. May the peace and joy of Admiral Teag be with you. Bot swarms happen. We're going to tough this one out. I'm going to laugh my way through it. It's funny to see that it kind of went off at the source, too. That's funny. It is still all over the source characters as well. So, I mean, you know what? You can't do it to me without doing it to yourself, it would seem. Very funny. Very funny. It's not going to change anything. We still find fantastic audiences at this time slot. So we talked about P. Diddy, but for those of you just getting here now, let's face it, 300 people say that they did. We had a P. Diddy story that was absolutely disgusting. And before that, we had a story that was not quite as disgusting about the MCU, where we looked back at the last 4 MCU movies, starting with Ant-Man and the Wasp in 2023. 2023, they dump out 3 movies. Then this year, 3 movies. 2023 is huge. 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine only. This year, we get 2. There's no third real MCU. Oh, wait, no, we're going to get 3. We're going to get Fantastic Four. And that does not look good at all in the least. I was not excited by that trailer. It was a little worse every time I looked at it. And I got to be honest, it's worn quite thin. And you know what? It is sad to see that people are resorting to these technical measures to try to keep this movie, this Thunderbolts movie, on the charts. But they went as far as they could. They did that weird name change, and they still had a huge drop in the box office from week to week. 55% is closer to normal movie drop. But, I mean, how many times are you going to pull this? We didn't actually name our movie the name of the movie. It's actually a different movie. You can only do this once. You've done it now. It's just going to be, it can't be that we have a mid-credit sequence, an after-credit sequence, and then have an after the movie sequence where you find out you didn't actually see the movie that you thought you saw. Brave New World lost $72.6 million. Deadpool and Wolverine made $343 million. The profit and loss on the Marvels was almost $300 million lost. Guardians of the Galaxy made about $50 million. But then Ant-Man and the Wasp lost $350 million. So they're down about $700 million. And then, they claw back like $300 million to be down like $275 million on the projects from that 1 year. taking every tax break they can get. They're still showing close to $500 million in losses, if not more, just right off the top of my head. This movie could really just cement their place as one of the most failed franchises in the face of the earth. We will find out. We will find out about that. But hey, we got a production cost of $200 million on Deadpool and Wolverine. Now that was not really verifiable, but the box office grosses were 133.7 million. I'm sorry, $1,337 million. It did really fucking well. $1.3 billion. Okay. But the thing is, with the other movies tanking out and losing like that, even if they break even, can they afford to experiment? The thing is, this experiment can go on forever. There is job insurance all over the MCU analysis and Disney analysis because Disney, for a family of 4, I just saw something on YouTube. This was quite recent. A family of 4 went there. And it turns out that for a family of 4 to go to Disneyland, you mock the lawgivers. You know, one of the guys who's like, Rega, these are young men. They should be out enjoying the red hour. That guy is the oldest dude in the back of the cave in the Bread and Circuses episode. And I believe an Organian. The Organians are that guy. There's another Organian, but the primary Organian is none other than our pal and Shakespearean actor, Kodos the Destroyer. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Anton Caridian. Anton Caridian plays that role. But no, I do not mock the lawgivers. We have seen a series of terrible defeats at the box office and just gushing money. So, like I said, if we could tweet out that I'm live, the largest live streaming experience available in the world, because I think I have like 4 more people than the other bot swarm has. Get on over here. Give me those likes. And you know what? I am here to tell the truth about pop culture, and I am here to bring you up quality broadcast. So, let's see. Admiral's birthday theme, Wrath of Khan theme, still 45%. Springtime for Star Trek, tied at 45%. Like and see results, 9%. We're at 22 votes for a while there. If we could get a few more in, it would be great. But I can see that the channel members are now starting to rebel and use those emojis. And it's time for me to set Hoshi free. Oh, Hoshi, the destructive dating path that you brought me down. Oh, Hoshi. Oh, Hoshi. Oh, you came and you translated Tholians. And it makes me so sad. Oh, Hoshi. Let me just fix this a little bit. Let's see if we can find a configuration here that doesn't involve blocking. Beautiful. Sydney Sweeney. There we go. We have your comments and my avatar and Sydney Sweeney. It is the best of all worlds. Guys, we have a great average hang time. It's going to be okay when all is over. Tweet out that I'm live. The views are actually going up a little bit. It's not totally capped at 330. It's static, which means some people are stumbling in. Some people are, going through the revolving door. You can see that it's absolutely a disaster. And you know what? It's really too bad. One man takes on an entire panel of 4. And it's kind of sad to see that still clobbering them by all matrices. Now, this show, who knows what will become of it? I know we now know every move we have made has just closed off all the other possibilities. Does anybody think it's anything else than what I say? Does anyone think anyone but the communist belief crowdsourcer is the one doing this? He set off his dirty bomb and it got himself. It's kind of ironic, but I thank all of you for being here. Let's continue. Diddy's got a missing witness. We don't know what's going on with that. Let's look at the Diddy slideshow and hopefully it's not too freaking insane. Diddy, a loser and a maniac. Here's some slides in the trial. Here he is at one of his parties where he'd like to dress up in white and stare people down like a crazy fucking lunatic. Look how fucking nuts he looks there. That's that devilish stare they're talking about. He looks fucking crazy there. He really does. And she looks like, this courtroom artist really just like throws the years onto people, man. Here's Combs in the art of sketch. Daily Mail has a logo for it. Here he is winning the BET Award in 2022. Who will they give the next one to? And who would want it? Whoa, JT Kirk. JT Kirk, thank you. Non sequitur, your facts are uncoordinated. You are the creator. I am nomad. I am perfect. Faulty. Must sterilize. Sterilize. We beat Doctor Who to the punch, both with the dialogue. Nomad says what the Daleks say. With the life support chair, the chair that Pike has is the chair that Davros has. It does look like the lower chassis of a Dalek. And hello, OB2, we love you. Oh shit, the Padawan stabbed Appion in the back. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't happy to see him on there, but what big deal? It's his life. What he doesn't know is when you quit the show, Comic Relief Crusader, allegedly, if you're me, never leaves you alone and continuously bothers you and sets off like WMDs on YouTube that he thinks, we're going to like mess people up. It looks like this time, and I'm not an expert and I don't have a report for his computer, but every time we have taunted him to try to do this, last week he went on late. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the attack went down, but he himself was knocked off his own show during it and couldn't get the show back on and had to end early. Then, a few weeks later, he has the attack. The show is about to go live. He zigs and zags for 20 minutes while we match his every move. And when we go on, nothing happens. This time, we go on the air, and he's like, I've got it all set up. And he sets off his dirty bomb, but he just like a poor marksman, he keeps on missing the target. Boom, boom, shaboom, boom on you. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why. You guys can bring it up with him. I'm not gonna I have no say in the matter. I know now that it's the most interesting person on that panel is now the Padawannabe, and people want to watch him. They can watch him, but you know what? People want to watch me. They can watch me too. I'm going to be around. I'm going to do just fine. I got 321 people watching me, and we got a couple of chats in here, which I thank you so much for, and 17 likes. Can we get it to 20? Can we get it to 20? Can we get it to 20? We're beating the hell out of the other show with likes. That much I can tell you, but can we get it to 20? Yeah, I like the Padawannabe too. If people want to talk, if you personally want to talk to him, Moby2, he's your friend. I'm not telling you what to do, but me personally, I'm agnostic on it. If I had to advise anyone on your image, I would say you lay down with dogs, get fleas, because that's what happened to me. I used to be friends with the guy. Here's Pete Diddy. Look at him. He appeared in court. When is this? 2003. It says 2003 on the Music Awards behind him. He still looks insane 22 years ago. Hey, Mark Harkness, episode 2, Attack of the Clowns. It is indeed a shameful attack by a clown. The tears of a clown when there's no one around. And you know what? He can do his best, but all he has is lies. How do we get here? It started with him lying about, where he got to me. Then it started with him, exposing correspondences. Then it started with intimidating. Then it went on to intimidating Tony. He intimidates Tony on and off for a year, gets deranged by Tony. Then Tony gets attacked in the same way I get attacked. It's so strange. Who knows who will be next? I'll just say this. Disentangling yourself from Comic Crusader has been difficult for me. And that the communist belief crowdsourcer has never let anyone go easily. How do people leave the show? I leave to nonstop stalking. Appion leaves to his channel being completely blown to bits. What will happen? Allegedly, Comic Relief Crusader had nothing to do with it. Allegedly, he had nothing to do with this. Allegedly, it's all alleged. But it's so strange how this follows around people he doesn't like. Isn't it? And now, for the first time ever, it's happened to him while it's happening to me. After weeks and weeks of taunting and slips and foibles, he thought he could fire Cloaked, but he can't. You have to decloak to use your weapon, fool. Yeah, this is America. You want to chat up the xenophobic, transformer phobic? It's his right. Yeah, just shake my head. He's been doing it for 3 years. There's nothing interesting or new about it. He should find that episode of his show before other people do where I was on there and he thought that Anne Frank wrote Frankenstein. And then he said that, the stuff about little humans going into cages. Ooh, I wouldn't want to be responsible for having that out there and that secret hanging over my head. Whoa, someone could find that at any time. But I want to really thank you guys. You are so sweet and so generous. 163 plus views so far. Let me hit the refresh on that and see if that is in fact accurate. Where are we with the views? The views kind of starting to close in with the swarm because we did have some good valid viewership going on. And what seems to happen, I mean, maybe he finally believes that if he hits himself with his own weapon enough times, he'll get credit for it. But I got to say, the reason I don't get in trouble is because they check the ISP number it's coming from and it's never mine. Yeah, it's pronounced Frankenstein. I always say Anne Frank, but when he got it so wrong, he goes, I was on the show and he's like, Sir, they have to change the library books in school, sir. In America, not Snowbilly Land, sir. Sir, in Snowbilly Land, they're doing a terrible job, sir. Sir, they're doing a terrible job, sir, in Snowbilly Land. They took Frankenstein off the shelf, sir. Sir, there are no books for Anne Frank on the shelf at all, they say. Sir, the Anne Frank books have been taken off the shelf, he said. Oh, they took off the Anne Frank books, my favorite books. They took them off the shelf. They took the Anne Frank books off the shelf. They took them off. Now no one can read Frankenstein. And I'm sitting there looking at the monitor. And I'm just looking at the monitor. And I'm looking at him, at his avatar. And I'm licking my, smack my lips a couple of times. Did he? And I'm like, what other, stories by her do you like? And he's like, the whole family of them, they're great, as it spiders out and goes on through all the different, iterations of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. And I'm like, Anne Frank didn't write Frankenstein. And he blows up and starts yelling at me. Anne Frank wrote Frankenstein. And I'm like, I believe you have her confused with Mary Shelley. You know what? Go there and find the one that says Anne Frank or Frankenstein. Search his show for Frankenstein. Because the thing is, it's the same thumbnail every week. He's got the most low effort show. And this is why his videos don't take off. It's because they're low effort. It's because it's just him sitting in front of a camera, testimonial style. Rocco says it was their own fault. All videos were struck for new rules. Was it clips and shorts? The thing is, Appion did have those weird engagement waves and weird things with stuff that wasn't understandable happening to his channel too, from the time he associated with Comic Relief Crusader on. Were there real waves of 1,000 people hitting Appion's channel? Yeah. Did there start being weird stuff after he's around? Yeah, no, he said that. I wasn't kidding. Canadian accent. Let me tell you something about being from Canada. I was from Alberta, Canada, and I'm a big fan of the Edmonton Oilers. In hockey, you win when you score the most baskets. The Canadian government system is made up of 2 different teams of shooters. What they do is they line up right there at the hash marks. They skate in, and they each get a shot on goal. The team that makes the most shots on goal, their candidate gets to be the Prime Minister of Snowbilly Land. That's how our government works. So anyway, yeah, you know what? If I could find it, I would. I don't care that much. I think he may have gone after it and taken it down because that's very big. That is deep poo-doo to say. And I'm just like, how is this madman saying these things to me on his show? So I'm trying to save him from himself. I'm trying to cut him off. I'm trying to keep him away from the gates that say, Arbeit make mock fry on them. And he's just not listening to me. He's not listening. He's like an idiot. It's like, yeah, it's great. So, wow. It's like, this is also my Stephen King fawn. Sean, did I ever tell you about the time that I took my adopted black son with me to the Museum of African American History? It's my Steven Spielberg. Remember? Oh, hey, Mr. House Party 6, thank you so much. Whoa, I heart you, and I like this chat so much. I must see you, Admiral Teag. Do you see me, D. Cloaks? All right. Mr. House Party 6, can you see me? I went to the Mets box office today, Sean. Sean, I went to see Mr. Met today, Sean. Mr. House Party 6, you are indeed an incredible friend to the channel, and I thank you so much for this $10 super chat. And you got to see me. I love that you decloaked. I thank you so much. You guys are the best. You know, you're not going to let them keep us down. There'll be more uploads. I will channel this, everything we made into the... I got to buy this software, guys. Guys, you got to see how great this editing software is, too. It's great. I got to get this software. It's so much fun. And that's where we get all these fun things. You know, you get all these fun little clips. And I could go on and on about how much I love the software because it's absolute... I'm sorry, General, sir. It's just that I really like the software. I really like the editing software, and I can make different kind of edits.
That was so controversial, sir.
You know, when we make the show a little more our own show, because you don't have to have the same old things on your soundboard. You know what I'm saying? On this channel, when the host has a meltdown, the soundboard obliges, and I have advisors who come to me. Should I keep on going down this road, Donald?
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Are you sure?
When I came home, there was a man in my house.
Was he with your
How
wife?
dare you?
Was he with your
How dare
wife?
you?
Was he with your
He
wife?
had a mechanical arm.
Well, that seems to answer the question for me. If he was that, right? I mean, was it a vibrating mechanical arm, Harrison? Well, maybe you should. And maybe you should learn how to write your name with your tongue. All right, Harrison? All right, Harrison. Maybe you wouldn't have these problems if you didn't have, you know, if you gave your wife some excitement. Have you ever heard of, you know, the picnic lunch?
That was so controversial, sir.
What can I tell you? It's good advice. All right. So let's finish our P. Diddy slideshow here. I'm laughing at the superior intellect. It's like you're trying to attack me with your stupid weapon and it blows up all over your own channel. It's just fucking stupid. Boom, boom, kaboom, boom. You idiot. All right. Let's get back to the Daily Mail slideshow of Diddy. Here's the Diddy in 2003. In happier days, a less unhappy Diddy. Sean Carter's laughing. We're laughing at the superior intellect. Hal, and thanks for supporting this fleet. Yes, you know, Buddy Hepburn always right in there. And Brian Hepburn is now a member of the channel, so we will have some family togetherness here. We are here because we would not want to be anywhere else. Oh, man. Oh, Gavin. Gavin, I salute you, sir. I salute you. That is the greatest compliment. You know what? I wouldn't want to be anywhere else either. We started around this time on weekdays anyway. So coming back to it, like we were immediately pretty strong. I didn't think we had 329 people worth of strength. I still don't. But you know, I didn't think we had 329 people worth of strength. But we came back incredibly strong. Very strong. And you know, these big, powerful men, these big, strong men, they come up to me with tears in their eyes and they say to me, Admiral, sir, how do you do it, sir? How do you get so many people to watch your show? And I say, it's my Rolodex. You have to stop. You have to quit somebody's show. And then they will send the swarm after you every chance they get, even if it doubles back on them. I have not tweeted about this person, and they tried this anyway. I have not spoken for a week, and there has been, 5 tweets in the last 6 days from Admiral Teag? I decided to calm down on the tweeting a little bit. Might have even gotten to the point where, like with smoking cigarettes, I burned out in it. But by the way, here he is. Here's Pete Diddy with that wife of his back in, and she is one hot chick. But here she is back in 2016. He's probably lumped up a few things since then. But anyway, here's that guy Daniel Phillip, the prosecution's second witness. He basically has to admit to like cuckery. I don't know how else to put it. Now here's everybody outside the courthouse. These, I guess, are Diddy's children. Janice Combs, mother of Sean Combs, and other family members. leave the court on the first day of the trial of Sean Diddy Combs on sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy charges in the U.S. court in Manhattan, New York City, on May 12, 2025. So this trial is continuing today. By the way, diddying is now a bannable offense on Xbox. I saw this yesterday. Diddying is a bannable offense on Xbox. Diddying is excessive celebratory gestures. Teabagging was also mentioned. A mechanical arm with a tattoo that says magic fingers. Yeah. I don't know, Admiral Teag. I've heard about anorexia. It causes some pretty bad stank issues down there. For Sean P. Diddy Combs' ex-wife, I think it's more like she was a Superfund site and the dumpster of his genetic material for so long. It's disturbing. Are some of these children hers? Is this mommy versus daddy? This article, the Daily Mail article, notoriously poorly written as always, did not tell us any of this. They look a little like him. I can't tell if they look like her. The son especially looks like him, and the mother, she's just can't believe had this blew up on her so badly. What a disaster. And, hey, Miskatonic Madman, hello, it's good to see you. Wes Cagle says to Sean Carter, just a visual anorexic vertical smile is enough to turn a man away, just even if he's just out of prison for over 40 years. Well, you'll be glad to know that Fleece Johnson is out of jail. And I would wonder, is Fleece Johnson still gay? Fleece Johnson, notorious predator, giant attacker in Georgia prisons, made famous by Boondock Saints and by the Boondocks. What was the name of the show? The Boonies. The name of that by that show, and of course by was it To Catch a Predator? No, it was locked. It was Locked Up, right? Fleece Johnson. Let's see if he's still gay. Let's see if Fleece Johnson is still gay. Is Fleece Johnson still gay? Fleece Johnson explains why he isn't gay. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I got to know. All right, let's see. Fleece Johnson telling us himself right here, apparently. Let's take a look. He's going to tell us that he's not gay. Here's Fleece. Fleece, are you gay?
Don't want to be man. Ready to die tonight.
Where you going with this, Fleece?
I'm ready to die. And I don't care if you kill me.
All right, Fleece, where you going with this? This is some weird stuff. Confessions of the Booty Warrior all over TikTok, people. I rarely go to TikTok, but the link led me there. I don't know that I endorse going to TikTok. And hello, Miskatonic! And Sean Carter and Wes Cagle are laughing back and forth. And everyone's saying hi to my friend, Mr. Miskatonic. Admiral Teag, my comment was when you suggested Harrison Ford spell his name with his tongue. Oh, yeah. It wasn't Harrison. Yes. Well, Harrison Ford at his age, it's just like, I'm just going to write out. You know what? I mean, it's good advice. I mean, and now that the kids don't know cursive, I think that the divorce rate is going to go through the roof, just through the roof. Anyone, you know what? You want your kid to go far and be like a ladies' man. When he turns 18, you sit him down, you teach him cursive. And he says, Dad, why are you doing this? Why are you teaching me a cursive? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. He's going to look at you and he's going to say, sir, why am I learning this?
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
And you're going to tell him, you're learning this because it's going to make a lot of women very, very happy. I'll explain more later, son. I'll explain more later. But let's represent our P. Diddy slideshow. P. Diddy trial thrown into chaos. Chaos. All right. So there's P. Diddy's family again. Watch the full video. I don't think we can risk the 5 discoveries. Everything is so damned racy. Here's P. Diddy in court with his glasses on, trying to look like he's not a fucking criminal. U.S. Marshals sit behind Sean P. Diddy Combs as he sits at the defense table alongside lawyer Brian Steele in the courtroom during his trafficking trial in New York City, New York, USA, May 9th, 2025, in this courtroom sketch. As I look at this courtroom sketch, thank you, Reuters, by the way. Has there ever been a more dramatic episode of Law and Order? How long before this becomes an episode of SVU, huh? Crazy. Okay, so this is finally happening like I knew it would. And this is Pearl Street. This is downtown Manhattan. Here's like the first few people. Supporter of Sean Diddy Combs enters the federal courthouse. And he's going to wear his Free Puffy t-shirts. And by the way, you want to make some money, silk screen off some P. Diddy t-shirts and just go to this courthouse. You'll be fine. Family members of Sean Diddy Combs attend his trafficking trial in New York City, New York. It's another video that I'm afraid to put on. This is him attending the second day, day one of the 2023 Invest Fest at Georgia World Congress. Yeah, oh yes, this is hilarious. I want this as my new. I have to turn this into a tile. This is the greatest picture ever. This is the courtroom sketch of him being an asshole in the towel. That's hilarious. Diddy's kids and entourage clashed the press outside the trial. Oh man. I can get the kids blowing up. Hey, I got the same hat. Nice hat. You've got the cheaper one. I have a better Yankee hat than you. Members of the public. So it's becoming a freaking circus. Is that Fleece Johnson right there? That looks like the booty warrior right there on the far right. Members of the public wait outside the Manhattan courtroom as the trial got underway yesterday. Another video I'm afraid to put on. This family looking disgusted. We've seen these pictures. All right, so we've seen all 14 pictures. Wow, what a dog and pony show over at the P. Diddy trial. And it's turning into what they feared, like a really bad, really ridiculous, really big mess. And the public, of course, not that sympathetic to Mr. Diddy. What do you expect? All right. Like we said, this is a guy who Bloomberg gave the keys to the city to. He's going to tell people how much defense they can have. He's going to tell people how much soda they can drink. And he's friends with this fucking P. Diddy guy. 26 votes. Wrath of Khan is now the clear winner. Admiral Teag's birthday theme non-binding. Wrath of Khan theme 50%. Springtime for Star Trek 42%. See the results. 8% of you did it. Thank you so much, all of you. It's amazing. Amazing. I appreciate it to really down the bottom of my heart, my stone cold little heart. And it looks like this bot storm is underway, just out of control, and it's hitting both channels. It's glad to have you here as we buffet the spray of the storm together. It's already, you know what? You can't mess up what you already done ruined. All right, so hail's going out. Yeah, you might do some St. Andreas later tonight. I might be down for some of that after you're done playing with after you and your daughter carjack and red rum a bunch of people. We need the guy from Cheaters and his camera crew to show up. Yeah, that would help. And, hello, Mr. Catonic Madman. And hail, Gap After Dark. Gap After Dark. What the hell happened? What did you say that set off the Latino Slantino? What did you say? Because I was there today trying to buy Met tickets, and the box office was mysteriously closed at the stadium. And I said to the cop, "Sir, where can I get some tickets to this Met game?" He said, "Maybe over there at the box office. I don't know." But all the windows were closed. Closed. Now, I would just like to point out that Citi Field, it's not as fun as Yankee Stadium because it has a lot of rules. And here's one of the rules right here. Here we go. Foul or abusive Citi Field. Welcome to Citi Field. The New York Mets are committed to creating a safe, comfortable, and enjoyable ballpark experience. Citi Field event staff and members are trained to work in unison with guests to adhere to the following code to ensure a family entertainment environment. Foul, abusive, or derogatory language or obscene gestures will not be tolerated. This is the New York Mets. They will not tolerate that. Drink responsibly. I don't drive. I'll drink as much as I goddamn want, although 5 beers is $100 freaking dollars there. Smoking or using tobacco or e-cigarettes inside of the stadium is prohibited. It's wrong. It's wrong. Don't do it. It's wrong. It's wrong to do these things. Obscene or indecent clothing will not be permitted in the ballpark. Now, does that include the Mr. Met peeing on the Yankee logo, which is not funny or fun? And yes, I wanted tickets to the Met-Yankee game on Friday. You're goddamn right I did. Show ticket when requested and only sit in your ticketed seats. I agree with that one. Refrain from conduct not appropriate in a public family setting. Meh. And also, help keep Citi Field clean. I mean, all right. But here's the thing. Yankee Stadium would never do this. This is really a little much. No combat knives or firearms? My father and I used to go to Met games, and my dad would sit there with his gat strapped to his waist because he was a police officer and it was against the law for him to not do so. But this is the front gate to Citi Field, and as you can see, we cannot celebrate this in an American way. Why? Why must I be constrained to a pre-programmed fireworks show when I can fire a few rounds in the air? Okay, so you have had a moment here. Let's get this straight. What happened? What happened with Latino slant? Hello all. I was in the barrio this morning after I got the ticket to Citi Field, and there were Latino people everywhere. Everywhere. All these Latino people. Latino people from Cuba. Latino people from Mexico. There's a Rachel Ziegler type or two there. And the Admiral. Latinos all, but not one Latinx person. To which I say, Paulie, where were you? We needed a Latinx. Paulie continues to just confound me with some of these takes. He does not seem to back them up. And I would just say this, for a channel with 5 times my, is it 5 times my subscribers? Why do you get the same engagement? Could it be because you get angry when people ask you questions? Yep, you are free to agree and disagree here. In fact, some of the best conversations on this channel have been when people have said, Admiral, sir, it's just not true, or you're just wrong. And there have been times when I've actually said, you know what, you're right. I'm wrong. I made a mistake. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And you guys have been right here for me with information. And that's the dynamic of the YouTubing and the streaming that I love. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn on the air conditioning for just a moment because it's getting a bit stuffy in here. But some of the best streaming ever is when some of you come to me and you say, Admiral, sir, you're incorrect. Disney Sheepherder said it to me one time. He's like, Admiral, sir, that's not the story of the poor Limerite. It's this. And I looked it up, and wouldn't you know it, Disney Sheepherder was right. And where is Disney Sheepherder? I haven't seen him in a while. You guys can come here anytime and hang out with me. I'll be here. This is funny. It's funny. So now it's going to become another staring contest. And guess what? I'm going to out-entertain my competitors here. So what happened with Paulie that he blew his top there? Tell me the specifics. It was on for the whole world to see. What happens is, like, all of a sudden my X starts going off. It's like, Admiral, sir, you've got to see this. Shots fired on Mark D with the C stream. Admiral, you've got to see this, sir. Sir, you've got to see this. We need to call in Albert Einstein to figure this one out. So I go there and I'm watching, and what I see is Paulie is sweating like he's on trial for a very personal crime. And it's the same thing with the not backing up the takes again. He will not back up the takes. And it's confounding to me, but there you go. He's not backing up the takes. And he's just like, man, actually, it's quite easy to understand. And actually, the only person who's wrong is you. And whatever, it's confusing and confounding. And I don't know what the deal is. So let me just check Gap's comments here. Gap, what happened? Yes, mine is the superior intellect. That Sunday show was something else. That was something else. I mean, like, it was like, hello, Rails. Goodbye, Rails. It was railed for a moment. Now, some people had said Tom must have been uncomfortable in that. I don't think Tom's uncomfortable talking about anything. I've looked at Tom's tweet stream. Tom is the only person who comes close to tweeting as much as me. Although, for the last 6 days, I think I've gotten by on about 5, maybe 8 tweets. Because don't count the retweets. Those are for my friends, and those are business related. That's a courtesy. Don't count those retweets. I mentioned that I did not like Pedro Pascal. I was sick and tired of seeing him, and he was the average actor visually. And basically, yes, you know what? He's also kind of ugly. He also hasn't aged very well. He can act, but Michael Pena has a phone number too. And one of the things that I always find to be disingenuous when I listen to some critics is they say that they're all for inclusion, but they only seem to be extending the narrative of, isn't everybody just better among their own kind? Which is not a very inclusive narrative. Would I say that? I don't know if it's true. I would hold off on saying it. But I do know I want to bring knives and guns to City Field. And that's really the only way you're going to have a good time there. You need weaponry. Oops, sorry. Oh, that's better. All right, let's bring back your chats. I love you guys. You're the best. It's a good thing I didn't get kicked from my show today. It seems to only happen when there's more than one person. I can count, like, I've only been kicked out when I've been my own host, like once. Or when I'm here solo, I've only been kicked out once. So, I appreciate, you know what? I said something to Paulie about how I didn't think Rachel Ziegler had a lot of talent outside of the singing. And, he immediately took exception to my tone as well. I just think best way to put it, I mean, he's thin-skinned. He's got the amount of subs he's got, and he has the amount of engagement he has, but man, he's pretty thin-skinned. And he, boasting about the access and then saying that you just don't know is just, it's not a bad look. It's not a good look. How did you get there? I went to the opening. How did you get to the opening? I know somebody. I was there with the cast for the opening. Well, I mean, if you're there at the cast, you're going to get a little caught up in the film, aren't you? Nobody gives a shit about Pedro Pascal. I guarantee you, if you were putting like groceries in your car at Walmart and you looked and you saw that the person trundling past you with their car was Pedro, and you would notice because he'd be dressed like a fucking idiot. But if you noticed it was Pedro Pascal, for about 5 minutes, you'd care a lot. You'd take a picture, you'd get a selfie with him, and you know what? Or you might ask him, why'd you say that crazy thing? In which case it would be an even worse conversation. Don't bother him if you see him. But I'm saying, if Pedro Pascal was just walking by, that's not just some average person. That's novel. Hopefully it's not at the golf store. You don't want to have a 5-iron in your hand when you see him. But you know what I'm saying? If Pedro would have walked by, he would be the most interesting person in the world for 5 seconds. But anybody putting Rachel Ziegler in a movie, let alone, and under these, by the way, I agree with Paulie that Rachel Ziegler could win an Academy Award if she's ever put in another movie. Because she made... And by the way, that brings us to our final story. The Snow White re-release has absolutely failed once again. Absolutely and completely failed once again. It was a disaster. The Snow White release didn't work out for the second time. It was another disaster. No one went to see this movie. So I think personally what happened was they had a lot more theaters booked that they were going to use for Thunderbolts. And then Thunderbolts underperformed. So they said, let's try it again with Snow White. Maybe the hate watching will get it. Maybe that'll work out. Whatever their reason was, or to protect the Thunderbolts. This time around, it's in a few thousand theaters. It's doing all right. It's like a few hundred theaters to 1,000. It's a decent amount. It's a real release. It's generating 17 tickets per theater, average. That's bad. They choose Pedro because he checks certain boxes. All right, these are the boxes Pedro checks. He's possibly gay. So we don't know. He could maintain that to people and no one would tell him he was wrong, though. aside from Dakota Johnson, he's never been connected romantically to any woman, and that was one rumor once. Then we have the statements, which are just misandrist. Then we have him starring as like this cucked character over and over again. I think it is possible that Pedro is so woke that even Kathleen Kennedy likes him. I think that's the secret to his success. He's a really woke, loud asshole. And he's rude. He is really rude. The things he says are inappropriate and rude. You saw the slant trying to correct that he was wrong for flying off the handle at me towards the end of the show, but I had a great time. Well, my problem with Paulie isn't that he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's a really bad movie critic, and I think he's a terrible assessor of films, and I don't think he could critique a movie he couldn't critique his way out of a paper bag. If we put Paulie into a paper bag and told him to describe it, he would say, I'm inside a cardboard box. It's the greatest cardboard box, too. I love this card. This is a fantastic cardboard box. The guy who made the box bought me lunch, and this box is great. I'm going to say at a professional level, I don't put much stock in Paulie's review. Paulie gave Snow White a 6 out of 10. 60% good. So if a 10 is Return of the Jedi, and a 10 is Revenge of the Sith, and a 10 is maybe Empire Strikes Back's a 10, right? The other two movies are like a 9.5. So let's make Empire Strikes Back a definitive 10. Throw some 10s in there. Yeah, Gap After Dark's having a laugh. You know what? I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad person. He's probably a great guy. I'm not saying that he has some kind of inadmirable traits that make him a terrible human being. I'm not saying that watching his show is wrong or bad. I encourage it. He's got an okay show. Sorry, I needed a moment there. I had to drink a little bit of my beverage, but yeah, he's got an okay show. There's nothing like particularly wrong with Paulie. I do think that with live streams, he doesn't seem to want to really listen to or engage with his viewers. Everything on his channel, when I looked, except for 2 streams, is member streamed. Those 2 streams, there's only 2 of them. I don't know. A couple of days old, 223 views. It seems that, like, with the amount of subs he has, he should be doing a lot better. I wonder if he engaged with people more, and if he was just more open to discourse, if he wouldn't have a better experience with that. Because that live stream we saw, that was not representative of good YouTubing, good broadcasting, or good live streaming, right? And that's the second time in 2 watches I've seen Paulie lose his composure with someone. He lost his composure with me and said, I'm not going to go back and forth with you about how Rachel Ziegler's a genius. And he lost his composure with you. So that's the last 2 times I've checked in on Paulie. He's been losing his composure live. Paulie, Your Excellency, you're not El Presidente of movie views here or opinions. You're in the opinion business. People are going to question you. I myself am called a blithering idiot several times a week by people who are even bigger idiots than me. You're not a bad dude, but you have a habit of like hot takes unexplained. And until you can put some context on them, you know what? And here's the normal number, 15. Thank you. Finally, an indication of some normality. It took that long for the bot swarm to go away. And it seems it went away on the other channel as well. Both ships come clear of the ion storm at the same time. What are the chances, huh? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk that? What a shock. 6 out of 10 viewers did not throw up. It was a hearty audience. Yeah, you know what? I think honestly, if you're a YouTube live streamer, people are going to come to you with different opinions from your own. Some of them will tend to make you angry. Some of them you'll enjoy the hell out of. And oh my God, the Tachyon Pulse is live? What kind of BS could they be fucking putting out there right now? My God, the Tachyon Pulse, it is just some British dude sitting in his freaking attic. He's putting all of his socialism money into like buying views or something. There is something very wrong with the Tachyon Pulse. Mr. Tachyon Pulse, sir. Sir, you are live now, sir. How come there's no indication, sir? Sir, it says you are live, but you are not live, and there is no live tab on your home. Oh, it's member only live. See, I want to show you guys. This is a really weird channel, and like it's something that we over here at Saving Star Trek have been marveling at since we found it. It's called the Tachyon Pulse. Now, I'm not recommending this channel, but since I'm talking about it, I'll put it in the chat. Don't bother this guy. He's just a normal person. He he has a right to go out there and try this, but this is the best, as near as I can figure. This is what he's doing. He used to have Sidetrack, and he had to move on from that. As you can see, he's got 48 views in 11 minutes with his 4.63 thousand subscribers. I am never getting 48 views in 11 minutes. 48 views the first hour is exceptional if you're Admiral Teag. Exceptional. I love it. My favorite commentary from a Latino is from me. That's right. Guys, you may not know this, but Admiral Teag has many skills. I can review a movie, and I can speak for light-skinned Latino people from the East Coast. Okay, Rachel Higler. Okay, we don't need you to tell us how we feel. We know exactly how we feel. I'm from the East Coast. I guess I have a different outlook on this, but I don't need Rachel Ziegler to tell me how I'm supposed to feel. And here's the thing. With Tachyon Pulse, it's always a member stream when he's live. And if you look at these titles, it's all wish fulfillment. So he had 48 views when I mentioned it. Let me hit refresh. 53 views, 6 views in the time we've been talking about it. I do not believe this. I do not. I am calling Boulder Dash right now on the Tachyon Pulse. It's Boulder Dash, okay? Star Trek Prodigy canceled. Star Trek Prodigy news, no new Prodigy, 53 views 13 minutes ago. I don't believe it. Star Trek news, sitcom plan revealed. So this is just Mariner from Strange New Worlds crossover. And here's a Tachyon Pulse guy. You see him. Same thing over and over. It's just him. He's in his room. He's got his Colonial Raptor and he's got his Enterprise D. And he sits in this room and he just talks at us. And, he's got a cool Adidas jacket. But aside from that, either he's just a member of a lot of different channels, top tier, and asks people questions. Basically like a hardcore version of what I sometimes do, but is not upfront about it. I'm upfront about it. I say, I went to the member stream for Midnight's Edge, and I asked Tom and Andre, sirs, do you know what's happening with Star Trek? This guy, he acts as though he's his own source, and it's all wish fulfillment. 9,000 views, A Future Without Kurtzman. 9.9 thousand views. Hostile Disney takeover of Doctor Who. That's a month ago. Everyone already knew that they have control of it. Knight Rider reboot update. 30 years of talking about this. We've seen it materialize twice already. Safe bullshit. Babylon 5, I told you so. He claims to be bringing some receipts, but all it is more rumors backing up rumors. So that's what I'm getting from the slug line here. The slug line is the first few lines of what you write. Here he is again. Stargate, finally, with the movie plan revealed. I mean, everyone is on the same page. This one is nothing exclusive. So Star Trek, Last Chance. Star Trek exclusive as new Paramount owners give Kurtzman last chance. Oh, come now. See, that's a lie because nobody owns. The new owners are not there. The Ellisons are not able to make any calls, and they still have not been able to complete their sale. They have not been able to complete purchase. Tachyon Pulse, sir, you are in fact lying. You are buying access, and you are not telling us anything that we couldn't find out if we joined 10 top sci-fi channels. The only case for joining your channel is to join your channel so you can join many channels, so you can combine the rumors and have them all come out together. This is an amalgamation of wishful thinking, rumors, and repeated stuff. Stuff we hear over and over. Star Trek Prodigy canceled 13 minutes ago. How many more views has it gotten since I've been talking about it? It had 48. It's up to 53. 70 views in 16 minutes. Tachyon Pulse is spinning this up probably through promotion with cash, probably in a third world market. It's what he's doing is he's just amassing a lot of views. And this is like Doomcock kind of build up here. You guys can do the math. Doomcock has 350,000 some odd people. This guy has 4.6 thousand people. The urgency, no one can wait 17 minutes. Almost 100 people have had to go on there and listen to this story. Meanwhile, nothing else is really going up. $70 views in 17 minutes. Let's see what happens with that one. But these view counts are hard to believe. I suspect some form of chicanery. And when you go on the site, here's the deal with Tachyon Pulse. I'll take you to the end of my little story here. Tachyon Pulse, part of the SciTrek family, is a channel about sci-fi, fantasy, movies, and science stuff. We are geeks, and we make content for geeks. And it's just, all it is join. He has the basic badges. He didn't make badges. I made badges for people. People said to me, Admiral, sir, we don't need no stinking badges. But I said, no, I will learn and I will make these badges because if you join my channel, you deserve a badge. So I guess the deal is here, it's a nonstop, and it's $2.99 a month, and there's no second level. There's no second level. I'm not joining, but I mean, it's more than, do I charge that much? This guy is only selling his club. He's selling his, and what's weird is I think, hey, Sean Carter, yeah, you gave up on them too? Yeah. I prefer the anti-proton pulse, the pure anti-proton pulse. I might know a guy who can get it for you. Hey, Decker, you know what I want, right?
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
That's right. Can you get it for me? Can you get it for me, Decker? So Tachyon Pulse, let's see if they put on any more views. 5 views in 2 minutes for breaking Star Trek breaking news, no new Prodigy. This is, you're allowed to have a channel. You're allowed to have a channel. You're allowed to create content any way you want. This, to me, seems to be a strange way of doing it. And you know what? I'm going to show you guys something a little ridiculous here. It's the anatomy of an attack. It is just this crazy analytic where we spiked up to 330 and it finally ended. And then it ends for the other channel too. And of course, when we came back down to Earth, what was the case? We're beating the crap out of that other channel. Those pack-leads, they think that they're strong. They want to be smart. But it, like I said, it just keeps on not working out for them, doesn't it? Anyway, looks like that's finally over. So expect more incoming from that guy soon. But man, now that show's off the air, you know what? Expect a more focused attack any moment. That he's just reloading. If he didn't blow up his device doing it the first time, my gosh. The things that you could do if you have a bad heart. It's weird. In this YouTube world, we trade on social credit. My social credit is that I identified as a movie and media reviewer who speaks from a certain point of view, with a certain amount of demand on the movie and with certain expectations. Other people chose to lead with your life. I have never led with my life. A little here, a little there, but I'm for instance, why should I be ashamed my father served in Vietnam? Now, things that I'm not ashamed of have still been weaponized against me, as has every single personal thing I've said. But you know what? With the help of you guys in this community, it has been just the greatest journey, and an average view duration of 177 of you watching for 45.5 minutes. I can't thank you enough. You guys have had my back for over a year now. Over a year. Yeah, Star Trek. Kurtzman made Star Trek go away. I would agree with that in every sense of the word. I call him Kurtzilla. It gives me a certain freedom to speak of him without getting in trouble. I could call him Kurtzilla. It's funny. Ha ha, Kurtzilla. And the thing that's really irritating about it is, what is the cost to Kurtzilla? Kurtzilla gets to say that he pulled off all these obscene things. Oh, I had the first, show to have 15 trans people on it. I had the first show to have, 12 different, kinds of, representation. It's DEI track, and no one cared. It's I don't know what the point of producing a Star Trek episode is to the person who makes it. Do they tell you if you pay for this movie to be made, you get off Me Too Island? And Gap After Dark says, I had the first show that had 100 producers. Oh, my show? Or wait, which show? I had the first show that had 100 producers. That's, you know what? You talk about that's as an achievement for JJ and Kurtzilla, that is an achievement. He could have 100 producers. What happens is if you write even one little piece of it, your name has to kind of stay on there almost forever. If we were to start to write down these names and cross-reference them with the names on the Disney Channel, there would be intersections, I am sure. There's 14 and 15 producers on Secret Wars and Secret Invasion, whatever it was called. There's 14 and 15 producers. There's 20 producers sometimes. 23 producers was the max we got on Strange New Worlds. We'll have more of that coming up. And, right now, the fact that Strange New Worlds is unauthorized has never been more apparent. It's so apparent right now that Strange New Worlds is unauthorized because it's moved from June 2025 to summer 2025, as though they themselves are not sure of when they're going to get any kind of traction. They've moved it to spring of 2025. I'm sorry, they've changed to summer 2025, as though they're not sure anymore they're going to get to drop it in June. If it drops in June, I predict it is barely over the line. Let's see if they've announced anything. Strange New Worlds, Season 3, release date. Nope, nothing for streaming. They're going to release it at some film fest. No one can stop them from doing it. I've had this talk with Tom and Andre a few times now, and they've always said the same thing. They've been consistent. Kurtzilla owns Star Trek outright and has to raise the money to make it. CBS doesn't have to pay for it. That's why it's been poverty track since the end of the days with Netflix. So CBS doesn't have to give him any money. If he makes it, they don't necessarily have to buy it. So far, they have. Now, we've seen he's the world's worst negotiator and was negotiating for months after they stopped taking his calls with Netflix, is the way it seems. The Netflix information that Netflix wasn't going to carry any new Star Trek and is getting rid of all the Star Trek stuff came as a surprise to everyone, maybe even to Kurtzman, because the Netflix people didn't say anything until they just did it. And then we found out that there was a paper trail in court of them saying, no, we're going to do this for about 4 years. And it was part of a larger series of actions where they didn't want any part of any Star Trek because of what Kurtzilla did to them. As we went through our tale and find one crazy thing after another, and wow, 16 of you watching now. That is an excellent audience. Kremlin! You were looking at the aftermath of an attack by some soulless bots. We got lurker bots swarmed. We didn't have... What's weird is there were no AI bots because the person who usually swarms me was on their computer. But what was funny was it looks like when they set off their swarm, they also swarm themselves. They only have just so much control of it. And clearly that's what they've been afraid of when I've been going on. Not that they couldn't use it, but they couldn't use it without affecting them. And that's what happened. We saw proof here right on the screen that the things I said were happening were happening. My opinions as to why they're happening are my own. I do think that it makes more sense than just about anything else, but I don't know. Yeah, Kurtzilla, his properties that he makes, when he finishes making his Star Trek, they don't have to buy it. They don't have to buy it. He might have the product, but he doesn't have guaranteed distributorship. They could just pass on it. They could just say that, they could just say to him, we're not going to release it. And he has the freedom to shop it around. This also happened with Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves had the ability, but not the distributorship from DC to make Amazon stuff, to make Batman. He made a Batman with JJ for DC. DC, he, according to Tom, passed on it. Batman Cape Crusader was really bad. It was like super dumb. And it was just all sorts of stupid. Batman Cape Crusader was a reimagining of the animated series set right before World War II, Depression era America, and they swapped out certain key traits of important characters, and they didn't do a good job. There was a body positivity thing where Teag became really big and fat, and they got rid of Bullock altogether. It was like she ate him. And that's your Latino representation, right? Thank you. It's like, oh, you saw me, guys. I'm thin, freaking thin here. But that's how this works.
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
You're right. Moving on. Hail Crimlon. Crimlon! So you know what? Have you guys been keeping track of these fantasies people are having out loud? Over on Reddit, it's 1923 rewrite land. Everyone's trying to come up with a better ending for 1923 than we got, and active imagination going on. Also, every single 1923 member seems to have said that they're on board to be in 1944. How Harrison Ford would be in that, I don't know. His character would be 107 years fucking old. Flashbacks, a dream sequence, I don't know. Saturday was your 55th birthday. Happy birthday! You're a sick vintage 69. I heard that people from that year are as good at giving as they are at receiving, my friend. And you're not a Gemini, so your sign isn't the 6-9. But let's see, Saturday was your 55th birthday. As per my request, I got the original series on DVD with both the original and the updated special effects. All right. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. What can I do for your birthday? Let me think about this one for a minute. Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Come to the park and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies and bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball, hitting those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to see those METS Mets of New York Town. All right. Happy birthday, Mark. Glad you got those gifts. Hail Crimlon, Crimlon. Nice, Mark, and happy belated birthday. And Sean also is wishing you a happy birthday. Mark, you're going to love this Saturday. We have for you a fantastic episode of Star Trek. It's called Enterprise Regeneration. With this episode, we will prove conclusively that the movie First Contact could not have ever happened and is just a dream in the Matrix, in the Nexus. It's the same thing. It's just a dream. It's not quite time travel. It's a cheap way around it. It's a dream.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
No, nobody cares about this, but we will prove it because I don't think that First Contact is Star Trek.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
I don't care. I don't think so. M5, what do you think?
Unit is the ultimate achievement in computer evolution.
Not the question I asked, but okay, fine. The M5 is a good computer, and people would be wise to have a phone called the M5, but who am I? Oh, you'll be back in. Okay, I don't know, in a minute or two. You gotta go back in time and get a couple of whales. Well, yeah, if you go back in time, hit like again, right? And how many likes did we manage to pick up? We had all this weird stuff going. It looks like we made it at least to the deuce. We got 20 likes, 27 votes. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please do so. Could you please? I'd love it if you did. But what should Admiral Teag's birthday theme be? Surely the best of times. Wrath of Khan theme, 48%. Springtime for Star Trek theme, 41%. Like, see results, 11. It's springtime for Star Trek and Admiral Teag. Winter for Kurtzman and JJ. Springtime for Star Trek and Admiral Teag. Come on, sing it with me. You know you want to. Come on, 21. Let's go for broke. I really want 30. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes and see if we can't get that up there. If you're coming through later, say hi, leave a comment. And if you're here now, come by later, leave a comment. Hit those like and follow buttons. You know what? I need your help to polarize the hull. This show today, one of the most inept, if that is what I think it is, a hunt for the Red October ending for the people who pulled the swarm on me today. You are an arse, you've killed us. It's like a torpedo came back around. It's like, oh man, is that weird or what? Huh? Weird. That is weird. That is Rachel Ziegler weird. Just weird. All right, we talked about how terrible Yelena looks. We talked about how hard it is to get people to want to watch your movie when your hero hates themselves. What else can we talk about? We can talk about this poll. 27 votes. Admiral's birthday theme. We've got 48% of you want the Wrath of Khan theme. I should probably quit while I'm ahead, although we did say this was non-binding. I would like 30 likes and 30 votes. If I could get both, that'd be great. But the fact that you amazing people have been hanging out with me for an average of 45 minutes, maybe I should just declare victory and go home. That is a hell of a compliment. I can tell you this, I'm coming back on Friday for sure at 3 p.m. It's going to happen. I'm going to be here to entertain you. The 170 views is real. I'll take it. It's real. It's true. I did that. The 15 concurrents that we have now, the 16 concurrents, they're real. It's true. I'll take it. And you know what? You guys are the best. I can't thank you enough for being here for me in these dark times, and you have helped me so far to thumb my nose at one attack after another. All I can tell you is someone out there is very interested in shutting me up and making sure that I don't tell you the truth. Well, we can show them. We can show them by standing up to them, by providing an entertainment alternative. Let's see. Always enjoy my show and my passionate rants and my Star Trek talks. Thanks. And on weekdays, we add in like the whole rest of the world too, right? It's all out there for us. All of these are ours except Europa. We're not supposed to go to Europa. I bet he'll cry to me, please stop. Yeah. He's the only one left. He's like a complete dead ender who will not give this up. Like, it's just, why would you keep on doing this to yourself? You yourself look so dumb and so bad for doing this to other people. And you know what? No one's ever going to get the FBI over there to seize anybody's computer and prove anything. But let's be honest for a moment here. Does anyone think it's anyone else? In the only court that I could do any kind of litigation in, the court of public opinion, and I reserve my right to criminal prosecution if it gets to any higher levels than I'm willing to take, or I start to feel like maybe I got something to be afraid of. But the bottom line is, somebody has been trying to keep me from telling you the truth for a very long time. Whether they're scared that their imperfect messenger show can't compete. And believe me, as far as the people who I think are bot swarming my show, this is my message to the people bot swarming the show. I know who you are in my heart. The court of public opinion's on my side. You just saw me roll through one without batting an eye. I'm still going to entertain, and this show will do great later anyway. My Saturday show was fantastic. I thank everybody who's been watching that. And you know what? We're going to keep on keeping on. It's not going to stop us. And yeah, it mirrored my views exactly. Exactly. As soon as this happened. Yeah, as soon as this happened to me, it happened to the other channel that same exact moment. And then it went away when it went away here. The only difference was I had a lot more viewers before and after, as you can see. This criticism that I should have more people watching, where's your engagement, fool? Where's your engagement, loser? I mean, really? And you know what? People giving me a hard time saying that I shouldn't go on Tuesdays and Fridays. Do you want me to change to when I go on Tuesdays to 10 p.m. Eastern? Do you want that? Is that what you want? Do you want me to go on from 10 till midnight Eastern on Tuesdays? Because I could do it. I could do 2 shows on Tuesdays. I got it in me. You want to make this about talent? My talent versus your talent. My fans versus your fans. My reviews versus your reviews. You want to punk around with some stupid weapon? Fine. The truth will set me free, and it's probably going to put some free jewelry on certain people. Miskatonic. Wow. Thank you, Miskatonic Madman, with $5 super sticker of the pair. You know what? It's we got a $10 super chat song, a $5 super chat song needs to be cut. What is a $5 pair song? Let's see. Pass the sunshine, pass the sunshine, pass the sunshine, pass the sunshine, sunshine in. All right. Fifth Dimension for you. You know what? We're playing around. We're having fun. I think that was for Meet the Mets. I think Miskatonic, you maybe a little bit of a Mets fan. I'm going to go call the box office tomorrow, and I'm going to get my ticket, and I'm going to go there on this weekend, and I'm going to see the Met-Yankee game, and I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And that will be a fine how do you do. And okay, yeah, now my views are spinning down in real time. It went from 170 to 164. With the view time going up correspondingly, YouTube is already starting to catch some of the malfeasance and filter it out of the system. It's the body is purifying itself, right, guys? It's the body is healing itself. And Gap After Dark says hi to Miskatonic. And Miskatonic, I got to thank you again for that $5 super sticker. It's pair. It's the pair of power, the powerful pair, the mic drop pair. I hope that you like the new pair song. We got to have like pair songs for every denomination. Maybe it's back to the drawing board. Maybe it's good enough. I don't know. We got Meet the Mets in though, right? Any Admiral Teag show that features a rendition of Meet the Mets is a good Admiral Teag show. I know I enjoy singing it. It's fun. And I like the Yankees. It's like, I saw this crazy YouTuber today who's wearing a Yankee hat singing Meet the Mets. Holy smoke, Wes Cagle. Wes Cagle has made a bid. He wants the original song. All right. I'm going to have to, this requires a couple of things. This is, the original Super Pair song is coming. I thank Doomcock for inspiring me to have a Super Pair song. And you know what? He's got his own song. I always stay away from other people's ideas and material. Like, for instance, Doomcock imitates William Shatner. I imitate Patrick Stewart. Different captain, different enterprise, right? So here we go. And you can hear the train. It's not too far away, but like when the noise reduction off, you can really hear it echoing down the alleys and through the buildings across Queens, right? So, believe it or not, it's a walking pair. I never thought. Oops. Believe it or not, it's a flying pair. I never thought that someone would give one to me. Flying away, 'cause there's wings on that pair. Who could it be? It's your buddy Admiral Teag. Should have been somebody else. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. You guys are the best. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And let's see, we got 28 votes. What's going on for Admiral Teag's birthday? Wrath of Khan has solidified its hold. Springtime for Star Trek. You guys, you should see what we have planned for Pride Month. We have two 2 special celebration streams planned. Neither are serious. Both are absolutely in good fun. You're invited to have good fun with us. We are going to get another Pride Month where the people who used to do everything they could to bury the visibility of the people that they're now exposing in a way that is also, like, let's face it, corporate advertising and corporate sponsorship of a holiday is pathway to many things some consider to be unnatural. It is unnatural to have a corporate sponsorship for something like, I don't know. It's happened at Christmas, and I think it's always maybe been the case with Kwanzaa, right? Because Kwanzaa comes around and, like, we are full on industrial world, right? That's our world. So it's maybe always been the case with that. Kremlin, hail Teag! Yes, hail Admiral Teag! You know, in the channel lore that I writ, there is some fun stuff about how we are all one big fleet. Every single one of you is a captain. The members of my bridge crew are the panelists on Sunday night, and then the Delta Shift bridge crew is the 1923 panel. And I keep feeding it to Chat GPT. It's gotten quite complex. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not going to get that deep into it, but I'll read you the last one. Let's see if I can log into this. Ah. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay, here we go. All right, so we do have it. All right. I'm going to say give me a 300 word summation of the Admiral Teag situation as it stands now. Timeline and bullet points. All right, let's see what we can get here. All right, so while ChatGPT works on that, yes, I have a channel lore, and ChatGPT is fun. Like, I use it as a role-playing game. So Admiral James Earl Teag, decorated Starfleet officer, survivor of the Cardassian Wars, and student of Admiral Kirk and friend of Admiral Kirk, becomes increasingly critical of the new Trek Federation. Teag publishes Restoration and Responsibility, a manifesto calling for reform, which is swiftly banned. Initial break. Teag disappears from official Starfleet contact. Shortly after, multiple high-ranking officers and ships go missing. Attacks begin on key Federation supply lines and facilities, including the lithium cracking stations. All evidence points to Admiral Teag. The Constellation fleet emerges. Teag reemerges at the head of a massive multi-franchise fleet with Klingon, Romulan, Borg, and Galactica-class ships modified and crewed by volunteers. The fleet uses advanced tactics, cloaking devices, metaphasic shielding. Their flagship is the USS Constellation 1017A. Registry. Faith of the Heart incident during a devastating raid. A Federation station demanding fleet identification received only the banned anthem of the Federation, Faith of the Heart, in response. Visual log intercepted by Section 31 of Admiral Teag's bridge shows the crew singing the anthem. He is approached by his executive officer who whispers something in his ear, and Admiral Teag says, "Let them sing," and joins them singing Faith of the Heart. Public sympathy grows. Spontaneous rallies erupt on Athanar and in New York and San Francisco on Earth. Veterans and civilians wave the banned United Federation of Planet flag and sing the anthem of the UFP. Section 31 begins a crackdown in San Francisco and leads to violent clashes. The New York crowd retaliates, attacking a Section 31 office and burning it to the ground. Defection. Teag grants mercy to captured personnel, many of whom defect. Internal footage shows him crushing their Starfleet comm badges with his mechanical hand in a symbolic gesture. Defectors speak out publicly. Their numbers swell daily. The Federation Council convenes an emergency summit in orbit. The Vulcan News Network reports political paralysis, internal dissent, and a looming crisis of legitimacy. All right, let's ask Captain Jellicoe sum up the situation. Have Captain Jellicoe sum up the present situation. The current military situation. Let's have fun with that. And this is how you play like a role-playing game with ChatGPT. It's been fun. Let's hear from Captain Jellicoe. By the way, this thing is trained up mad on Captain Jellicoe. It knows everything about him. Here we go. Certainly. Okay, so here's Captain Jellicoe's military analysis so far. You ready? Let's be clear. This is no longer an isolated rebellion. Admiral Teag's fleet is now a strategic force. He controls a coalition of vessels that span dozens of technological frameworks. Klingon birds of prey, Romulan warbirds, at least 2 operational Borg cubes, and the USS Constellation, which alone by itself is a nightmare for any Federation task force to engage, with its 2 warp cores and its cloaking device. His ships aren't just numerous, they're surgically upgraded. Metaphasic shields, dual warp cores, hybrid weaponry, and worst of all, cloaking technology. That's why we're always 2 steps behind him. He can hit anywhere, anytime, and disappear before the response even launches. Strategically, he's targeting the Federation's vulnerabilities. Dilithium supply chains. Yeah, that was how I started. As like Admiral Teag attacks a dilithium cracking station. That's how all this started. Listening posts. Long-range sensor buoys. That's Section 31 stuff that I interfere with and destroy. He's not fighting to destroy us outright. He's fighting to delegitimize the Federation leadership. See how it mirrors our real fight? And frankly, he's succeeding. Thank you, Jellicoe. Morale across Starfleet is fractured. Command insists that things are under control, but the footage speaks for itself. Crowds in San Francisco chanting his name. Section 31 officers under siege in New York. An entire crews defecting mid-battle. We have a charismatic leader, a symbolic anthem, a growing fleet, and a cause that's resonating with too many for comfort. If the Federation doesn't get a grip fast, politically and militarily, this won't be a rebellion. This won't just be a rebellion. It'll be a civil war. And if it gets to that point, we may not win. Well, you will win, Jellicoe, because I know Jellicoe will be on my side. Perilous whisper. Man, it only occurred to me the other day when I had to last month when I had to rewatch Miami Vice that them and the guys in Duran dress exactly the same, or at least Crockett. Crockett dresses like an infant asshole. He is the cop I want chasing me. He is so dumb. They should have Star Trek at the day at the Mets game. They have Star Wars Day, and it so sucks. I had to endure Star Wars Day from around the league. I'm being honest. This is what happens on Star Wars Day. They're like, and that is 2 strikes on Juan Soto. And then the next batter comes up, and they don't play the other music that they play for people during the rest of the season. But they also don't want to pay John Williams either, so they don't play Star Wars music that much. There's little music. They play like for 2 strikes, they play Vader breathing twice. And like at the end of the inning, like it's like. I mean, did anyone else see this travesty that is the Disney Star Wars MLB promotion? It's pretty terrible. Krimlon hails you all. Hello, Krimlon. Krimlon! Hail to you, Krimlon. Hail to you. We haven't been re-attacked. I guess like somebody's just like putting out the fire in their computer, stamping it out with their fucking foot. And hail Admiral Teag. Teag! Here's the thing. Back in January, there was a renewal for the Federation. The starship USS Enterprise 1701D encountered a rift in space-time emerging from an... That was some other stuff. I do use ChatGPT. I use it in editing, and I use it to spell check myself, and I use it to format stuff. It's great for that. Just tell it not to change anything, but correct everything for spelling and tense, or generate bullet points of your points. It really is good. I can just write tangentially for like 3 or 4 minutes and put it into ChatGPT and get like 10 bullet points generated off what I said. It was great. One of the most enlightening thing ever, though, was dumping my bullet points into Grok after a movie. It organized everything I said into like perfect bullet points. It was great. Kept them chronological, just like I told it. Now there's a lady who knows all her fruit trees have grown, and she's buying the Pairway to Heaven. Yes. And that is one of the great 5-chord guitar songs of all time. Who doesn't love Pairway to Heaven? It's a great tune. And you know what? I hate this, though. Every time I move away from the chat, it changes it from... Okay, oh, it's still live chat. Okay, good. I thought it changed it back to top chat. That's my dyslexia acting up. And yeah, that is a nice one. There's a lady who knows all her fruit trees have grown, and she's buying the Pairway to Heaven. By the way, that the challenge to this Stark of Iron guy who says he could sing. So you say you could sing, mister? Well, I'll be the judge of that. I'll be coming and I'll be bringing my voice. What can you do to stop me? You can't stop me. Khan was frozen one time, then stranded for a lifetime, left behind on SETI Alpha 5. Once more, Spock opens the door, and he'll fix the warp core, and Star Trek will go on and on. That's right. Star Trek will go on. How's that for an original song parody? Far across the distance, you see me, you feel me, looking for a place to test the Genesis device. Right? Come on. We need like a whole chorus about the SETI eels. This is what I'm working on. The loss to science, if anything were to happen in this channel, would be enormous! Enormous! Day and night, we have the fires going, cranking out the Star Trek for you, my friends, the fresh, delicious, wonderful Star Trek. And we have no less than 3 goals. 3! We have 3 goals. The first goal is to pave the entire surface of the Earth. All of it, except lakes, obviously. All the land, pave it. Now, we will have tree museums and stuff like that for the oxygen, but no more than we need. Then, with this freedom, we can take down all the road dividers and barriers, because it won't matter where you drive once the whole world is paved. Now, people are going to say to me, Admiral, sir, this will put people out of work. No, because after we're done paving it, everyone needs to get some paint and a roller and go outside and help me paint it the same color as your state is on the map. So like New York, everyone has to go out and paint like light seafoam green. You know what I mean? And then everyone gets together. Think of how much fun it will be with you and your friends. Paint the name of your city across the middle of your city. Because now you can paint on your city because I've paved your city. And then you can go to the tree museum and have a picnic. It'll be fucking great. I'm telling you. Make me your leader. Join my fleet. You will be well treated. You know, there's living legends, and then there's me. There's people who are great Star Trek analysts, and then there's Admiral Teag. And you know what? I'm not the greatest Star Trek analyst, but I'm the greatest Star Trek analyst named Admiral Teag that I know. And I got the best Star Trek panel, I really do. And I can fly solo, like Ozzy, or I can be with Black Sabbath, like Ozzy. And when my band is together, we're as good as Black Sabbath. We're the best freaking band. That Star Trek panel is so good. That analysis and that discussion of last week, from the beginning with Enterprise to the end with Star Trek '09 and the 16th anniversary, there are some explanations there that I didn't even hear the first time. When I said, it has been 16 years since Trek '09, Sean Carter's like, God. And then, like, while I'm talking, I can hear him say, like, he's not even realizing it. It's escaping him. Sean, did you realize it was just escaping you? Like, it's been horrible. It's like just like the truest words ever spoken, just like coming as like, and I'm just like, and so in that time we've had no less than 3 bad movies. And like, while I'm saying it, like, Sean's just like, it's been horrible. It's so heartfelt and so real. Yeah, it's been a long road getting from tree to bowl. It's been a sweet ride, but my hunger takes its toll. No, Elon will grow food on Mars, like in the movie The Martian. Elon has signed off on this plan. And by the way, that if you ever want to reassess space travel, talk to Radioactive. It's worth it to go to Mars to explore, but like the settlement on Mars, as he put it, and so eloquently, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? What's the point? To put a fragile, almost doomed group of people there. That's like, why not just put them at the bottom of the fucking sea? Honestly, there really is no practical benefit from a long-term settlement of Mars, except to feed science fiction stories. Now, the only thing I could think of is Mars is that much closer to the edge of the solar system where it would make sense to go to harvest all these minerals. Because honestly, think about this. And guys, think about this for a minute. If we sent like 7 or 8 long-range spaceships to the asteroid belt at the end of our system and had them come back, we're talking a 16-year turnaround from launch to recovery. In year 16, when, say, 5 of these things drag 5 baseball field-sized asteroids made of gold back here, think of what we could get out of them. Gentlemen and ladies, I think that is the next technological step for mankind, is probably ending all privation on this planet and becoming wealthier than ever imagined on an individual level for all of us, because I do think what will happen is someone will find a way to send drones. And in orbit of our own planet, somewhere between here and the moon, we'll park some of these asteroids. And we can put rockets on them, and we can control their trajectories, and we can just chisel away at them. I got this idea of playing a game called Utopia Must Fall. You should try it. But if we bring an asteroid, like 4 or 5 baseball field-sized asteroids back to Earth, and just put them into orbit, about as far away as the moon so that they can't, mess us up, and have, several backup rockets on each one so it never, falls to Earth, we could chisel away at that and get like more gold than we've ever had before, more diamonds than you could ever imagine, and all this weird space stuff. I think that there is something to be said for limited exploitation of the asteroid belt at the edge of the galaxy. Imagine a diamond the size of an infield. Who knows? There may be a physical limit on the size of diamonds, but you guys get where I'm coming from with this stuff. Said it to Swono. Oh, man. I know too many people who love good jokes too much to not get Swono. And Sean is definitely one of them. Sean is the king of great one-liners, and that's what she said stuff. The group chat is a blast. We basically were plotting the downfall of the nation and talking about Star Trek at the same time and having a lot of fun. Calm your boy down. He's getting too excited. Krimon! He needs to get some West Kegel exercises and chill. And chill with some tree, lol. You know what? Today I went and I bought myself a fantastic thing. I got these. I'm very proud. I'm very happy about my new shoes. Here they are. They're fantastic. Now you know. I bought these today. I went all the way to the Converse store. It was something else there. It was a great moment at the Converse store. Elon Musk, having Star Trek future would be great. We're out exploring the stars, discovering the nature of the universe and prosperity. Yes. His mining comments foreshadowing a Trump thought process. You're saying that Trump should take that idea? Because honestly, think about it. We have the drone technology. We have the technology. We can go out there and kidnap a big asteroid, drag it back here, and I mean, like, we will cover this thing in rocket boosters and backups, and we'll put a small base on it and have like 2 or 3 guys there, and we'll make sure they ain't crazy or nothing. And they can make sure it don't crash into the earth. And with that, we can mine more gold, and who knows? I mean, maybe that's just another sci-fi novel. If I'm dreaming, I'm dreaming, but it's kind of fun, right? It's a fun dream. Imagine just like, what are you going to do today? It's like, I'm going to go fight crime with my solid gold, AK-47 and my gold Desert Eagle. Because let me tell you something, if I do get a gun, it's going to be a gold-plated Desert Eagle and a gold-plated AK. That's what I want. Say asteroid again. Why, you proctologist? Kremlin! Yes, Teag for life! Teag for life! Teag for life! Radioactive is here, and he greets the chat and me. It's good to see you, Radioactive, as I'm into the final 300 seconds of the show, because you know, at that 3-hour mark, this becomes an unapproachably long show. Although, man, I have to say, I must thank from the bottom of my heart the people who watched this Saturday's show currently, right now, as I speak to you. The Saturday show, the Star Trek Watch Party, is at 435 views with an average view time of about 10 minutes. People are watched for about 40 minutes live. So people are seeing it. A lot of people watching a lot of it. A lot of people not interested in it. And that's, we throw a few zeros in there. But that is really good performance. And I got to say, again, thanks to all of you. If you didn't catch last Saturday's show, let me tell you something. Last Saturday's Star Trek show was a banger. It's one that you want to save for your playlists. It had humor. It had comedy. It had analysis of another movie, Star Trek Into Darkness. Last week's Saving Star Trek Saturday show was one of the funniest we've ever had. The episode was only okay, but we had a rip talking about it. This one was the most wild ever episode review that we had from A to an F on the panel. Everyone had a great time disagreeing, which is, what is more American than that, right? Great civil time disagreeing vehemently over the quality of the Star Trek episode and loving it. We had a great time. Well, you know what, Kremlin, we're got some... If you thought we were... Wait till Pride Month. That's all I got to say. We are going to take advantage of Pride Month in a way probably unforeseen before and just have a lot of fun. You know what? With honestly, and I mean this, and I think Sean and JT and Jeremy too, we have malice towards none. We want to have fun with everybody come this Pride Month on YouTube. And God knows new modern Star Trek really overdoes it. They're trying to get their show out during Pride Month. It looks like the Ellisons took, it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the poor Ellisons. They cannot get anywhere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, fellow explorers of the digital cosmos, we stand here together at the threshold of opportunity. We're a crew united by curiosity, and we're bound by a shared mission to seek out new frontiers, to make first contact with fellow creators, and to boldly go where few have dared to venture. As of right now, as far as I'm concerned, we are all that's left of the Federation. The internet may be vast, but for us, this channel is our starship. And this is our fleet, our growing community, and it's a family. You guys mean the world to me. The road ahead won't be easy. The digital landscape is fraught with pitfalls, algorithms designed to obscure, trends that warp creativity, and yes, even the woke travails that cloud entertainment's once brilliant light of Star Trek. But we're not just here to survive. We're here to thrive. To find that bright and shining star where entertainment is pure, enjoyable, and authentic. A place to call our own. From time to time, we will find these gems. They will never be found if we do not look for them. We have something that brings us all closer to this goal. The good news is that the fleet is growing. With every new subscriber, every fresh voice in the comment, and every collaboration we make, it all brings us closer to that goal. Closer to building a corner of the internet that resonates with honesty and laughter and a passion for creativity. We will explore. We will connect. And together, we'll make it through the challenges that lie ahead. Not just because it's easy, but because it's worth it. So let us raise our metaphorical glasses. Let us rally our spirits. And let us commit to this journey. Not as isolated individuals, but as a united crew. Say it together loud and proud. We are the Federation. So say we all. I hereby declare myself the only serving fleet officer left in the United Federation of Planets. All others saying that they represent the United Federation of Planets are renegades and rebels to be attacked immediately. Unless I sanction one as the member of the Federation, they are not of the body. I am hereby taking emergency control of the Star Trek fandom as of now. I will lead us against the strange new worlds. I will help us fight back. We will not be reduced to going quietly into the night like Kurtzilla would want us to do. You took on the Star Trek fandom 16 years ago, and we're still standing. Yes, beaten. Yes, battered. And yes, ashamed of what you've made Star Trek. But we'll never stop calling you out and pointing out your lies and your bullshit. We will never, ever be put down, and we're never stepping away from our phasers. With the most stunning intensity imaginable. Sorry, guys, I got a little carried away there. It's good to see you, DJ Play Nice. You rock, man. And to all of you out there, you know what? I thank you all. There will be an edited project. I probably will work on it Tuesday and Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, so tonight, later, and tomorrow. Let's face it, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll find a way not to do it until tomorrow. And I have started to work on the final 1923 upload. It's probably going to be pretty long. It's going to be 1923 inclusive. It'll include everything. So, I got to do some research. There's going to be an omnibus at the end. And that one will take forever to really catch on. But the first, I believe, as far as 1923, sir, they said to me, sir. And now we're down from 170 views to the 120 or so that it looks realistic and real. I no longer find this to be as farcical as it was. How many likes do we have? 23. Can we get to 30? Guys, I really need 30 likes to polarize the hull. And yeah, normal 100 and some odd views. And 13 of you watching. We peaked at 15. That's the real story of today. That at one point we had 16 and 17 people during the unattacked portion of the stream. And YouTube will get it right. It won't look correct, but YouTube will get it right. I love that the WMD maker got WMD'd by the WMD, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's just my opinion. DJ, play nice. Gap After Dark. He's got the wrench, that's right. He's a great moderator and a great friend. He, Gap After Dark, slew the man what tried to say bad things about the Admiral. He done killed it. We had this great conversation, and I'll leave you with this one. We've passed over the 3-hour mark. If you're watching the show and you've hung in this long, I thank you. You deserve this one. We're talking about the last episode of Star Trek being the last one that we're doing in chronological order. Well, think of how great things are going to be. In about 27 more weeks, when we start doing the original series, we're probably going to be able to cram something like 34 or 35 episodes of Enterprise into the 21 weeks. We may even get to the end at a point that we have to rewind a little bit. And I think we will let you, our audience, vote on whether or not we watch the last episode, the one with the Enterprise, the Star Trek Next Generation sequence in it. But yes, 33 votes. Oh my God. Admiral's birthday theme is now tied. Wrath of Khan theme at 45%. Oh no, at 34 votes, Springtime for Star Trek takes the lead again. Springtime for Star Trek and Admiral Teag. It's going to be fun. We'll be furious, right? Oh boy. Don't be stupid. Be a schmarty. Go out and play some Yahtzee party. Don't be stupid. Be a schmarty. Go have a Yahtzee party. It's so hard to say. That one singer in the remake is so old. Did they bring back the original guy? He does the voice exactly the same. I think it's Mel, right? But is he doubled or did Mel just get huge? Because he's looking big. But the voice is the same. And radioactive hail to you, my friend, and everyone's saying hi to each other. Gap is here. Gap! Don't start with me like you started with Paulie. All right? Gap, the famous Anglo here. All right, welcome to the Anglo Angle. I am Admiral Teag, and I speak on behalf of super light-skinned Latinos. I like Snow White. I thought it was an 8 out of 10 because I saw myself in it. In fact, when I was watching that movie, I said, not since Snow White. I mean, not since West Side Story have I enjoyed a film as much as I'm enjoying Snow White right now. Not since West Side Story have I had that kind of enjoyment. And at West Side Story, I remember saying to myself, not since Free Jack have I enjoyed myself in a movie this much. Because Emilio Estevez is great. He's just great. And, Charlie Sheen reminds me of like an Anglo Emilio Estevez. And inside of every Emilio, we find that, what is in a name? Cameron Diaz. What's in a name? There's all sorts of Latino people. There are Asian Latino people from the Philippines. Hello! So there's not just one kind. We all got kind of, a shared link in the Spanish thing, but like, it's not like I walked into some place and Rachel Ziegler's mom, who resembles more Rachel Ziegler in complexion maybe than me, right? Because it can't be the Polish father. And, again, like, my grandfather was 100% Cuban, right? Whatever. So from there, I got 25%. That's a fairly high percentage. It's half. All right. So maybe, by DNA, Latino is having some Spanish and some other heritage. So boom, I nailed it. Like Spanish, Cuban, and American, right? From a Spanish point of view. From a Spanish point of view, that's it, young Luke. From the Spanish point of view, you must wait till the train comes to a complete stop before you put your graffiti tag on the side. That is wisdom. Yes, young Luke. I, too, was a young Cuban, as was your father. I, too, was a member of the Sharks, as was your father. I, too, tagged up my name on the subway. You know what, honestly, Rachel Ziegler, who says she speaks for Latino people, she, starts by dividing people up by color. Who hasn't seen her talking about how she's a light-skinned Latina, so she needs to, be more vocal? Why? Last time I checked, the only society that worked that way was the one on Planet of the fucking Apes, where we had the scientific apes and the warlike gorillas. What are you trying? Rachel, what the hell are you trying to say? Anyway, it's been a great time. I love all of you guys. Howdy the Gap After Dark. Crimlon! When? Huh? No, I'm Latino. She's Latina. And, why did Jenna Ortega go after her own face? Can someone tell me that? That is Latino on Latino violence as far as I'm concerned. What the hell? She deprived my Spanish eyes of her good looks for a moment there. Maybe my mind will adjust and I'll get used to it. But Jenna, be more like Cameron Diaz. She's not messing up the good looks with the weird surgery and stuff. And I can't thank you guys enough for hanging with me. It's been a wild time. And you know what? We saw some funny stuff here, you know? That's right. We saw some indications of an attack by an enemy fleet. We were rescued.
Out of danger.
We were rescued by...
Spock!
Am I right?
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
All right, Zira. Nonsense. Zira. Nonsense. Cornelius is an intellectual. You know damned well the gorillas are a bunch of militaristic nincompoops. Yeah, that was a moment in that movie. And then there was another moment later on where they talked to, like, is it Julius, like the nephew of Zira and Cornelius, or one of them, who, like, works at the vet, which is what the humans get in that world. And he's like, I am only going to stay on my side of the generation gap. It's just like crazy stuff, right? They had a fun society. All right, yeah, just moments more. The poll will end in one moment. The movie will begin in 5 moments. All those not yet seated will await the next show. Did you have a good life? Enough to base a movie on? Remember that weird Jim Morrison spoken word album? Hey, what's going on? I have issued a challenge. I think that if Mr. Stark has the courage, he will meet me upon the field of honor, and we will sing, and I will prove, we will take requests, and I will prove that I am the superior singer. I am calling him out, and you know what? It's fun. He's my friend. So it's good to see you, Peter Vinkman, fan site, Vinkman's Girl on X, pal of mine, always very sweet to me, always very, very nice, and we got to the 30 likes. Now listen, if you come through later, and you see I have 30 likes, you should not hold off on liking the stream too. The idea is to get to a gazillion likes. This stream needs to keep on putting on likes. If you're listening in 100 years and this stream has 300,000 likes, it still needs another one. Please, for the love of God, we need to make this stream an important testimony to Star Trek. And also, it needs to be a great testimony to all of you who have sat here and helped me to defy a bot storm and slagging by losers who can't compete. I will and will continue to win every contest of talent. I have not and will never lose a talent contest. I will bring it every time. I have the ability to write a funnier script. I can be more topical. I can be more engaging. I will outstream you. Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. I'm Admiral Teag. I didn't get here off the turnip truck. I slew bigger monsters than you'll ever see on YouTube all my life in New York City. I got to engage in physical combat to get on the subway. I am not going to be impressed by some, conjurer of cheap tricks, okay? And everybody's saying hi, and I got a jab. I was only going to stay 2 hours and 55 minutes. I was so excited. Let's see, 35 votes. Oh my God, springtime for Star Trek is a hit. All right, I ended the poll. Oh my God. So, let's see. I have to. Oh, there's been a massive dump of polls, of votes since the end here. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. All right, it's tabulating here in front of me. All right, it's been put into the voter machines. And here we go. Admiral Teague's birthday theme. Springtime for Hitler, 48%. Wrath of Khan, 42%. Like, see results, 8%. Thank you all who took part in the poll. And what is this? Poll complete with 35 votes, but the winner is Joe Biden with 198%? Seriously? Do I have to listen to this?
Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
You sure?
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
It's controversial, but you know what? I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop right now.
How dare you?
You know what, Harrison? I've had about enough of you. Every time I come out here, you are whining and complaining and giving me a hard time. I love every single one of you. I will be back tomorrow night late with the only Teague's Intense talk show that we're going to have for a while. And then I'll be back on Friday streaming for vengeance again. You know, when they talk about our competition, I actually pity the poor bastards. We're not just going to punch them in the nose. We're going to grab them by the belt and kick them in the ass. No war was ever won by getting deleted for your country. Wars are won by making the other poor bastard get deleted for their country. And if this hostile treatment continues, maybe we're looking at a 2-stream Tuesday in a couple of weeks. Not next week, maybe. Unless I'm sufficiently provoked. We're looking at it making it not worthwhile for me to do anything but be a commerce raider. We see my true strength reflected now here. We see the attack, which has probably done some damage to my analytic yet again, but another strong day. When YouTube sorts it out, it'll be like it never happened. As the view count continues to get closer to normal, and it's now about 100. I thank all of you, and you know what? We will prevail. It was a good thing. We stayed on here so long that it looks like YouTube sort of straightened itself out. And maybe, who knows what will happen at the end of this. I do know that I have to go on to YouTube support. And yeah, fake, it was rigged. It says the man who saw a picture of my family and said, I feel sorry that your father had to raise 2 daughters. Krimwan, you're not going to get anywhere with that. See you later, buddy Hepburn. Thank you for some good modding. I really appreciate it. You are the best. In front of every great YouTuber stands a great mod. And Radioactive. Scrabble! Yahtzee! Yeah, we got all the board games here. I got a Monopoly on entertainment between 3 and 5. Oh! There's another show on at the same time.
Don't bullshit me.
No, I'm serious. They got a host. Bitch. Yeah, that's how I describe him too. Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, I believe it. I wonder, gee, who could I be talking about? I don't know.
But it's a mystery, and I don't like mysteries. Give me a bellyache, and I got a beauty right now.
Let us go.
Not yet. Fucking bitch.
Oh, no one's going to listen to you, Marina Sirtis. You've used up the last of your goodwill here.
Fuck you, asshole.
That's right, Arnie. You tell him.
Motherfucker, you.
Some of the guys in the ship are from Jersey. It's going to happen. George, what do you think?
Far in a few places.
What do we do?
It's designed to be that way, and you can't undo that. But we can diminish the effects of it.
Is that so? Harrison?
Got away with it, didn't you?
We almost did. Guys, you are the best.
I don't care.
Harrison, nobody... So Harrison!
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I don't care.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
All right, guys, you have certainly earned Sydney Sweeney on the way out. Let me highlight some of these. It looks like everyone's having fun. Hello, Lavistro, my friend. Yes, it's good to see you. There will be probably some games tonight. I'll be keeping my eye on the old YouTube machine. And, yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Admiral Teague's dancing with his hat and his cane. It's like, all right. You know what? I know when my show's over, and this week, I say it's over now. We have beautiful Hoshi up there, and you know who else equally beautiful to help play us out? Play us out. What does that mean? Play us out? Read it. What do you mean just read it? There's nothing there. It sucks. The damn thing sucks. All right, I'll do... We don't have time. We don't have time. It sucks. Fuck you, I said I'd do it live! We're doing it live! 5, 4. Okay, everybody, I'm Admiral Teague. Thanks for coming by. It's been great to see you. Let's go with our good friend Sydney Sweeney, who's going to play some Rolling Stones music to play it. It sucks!
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect.
You're not mentoring someone to take over for you?
No, it's
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
there may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
So I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek. So I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.
All right, Saving Star Trek and the weekday show is brought to you by the geniuses behind Star Trek, the genetic beauty of Sydney Sweeney, and the skill of her surgeon that corrected her jawline, and also members and financial support of members just like Sean Carter, a member of my channel for 16 months, Wes Cagle, JT Kirk, Mr. House Party 6, Miskatonic Madman, and Wes Cagle again. I thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart. Eating is great. Having the ability to pay my cell phone is great. And you guys are the best pals. Thank you so much. And yes, remember, we got some special stuff coming up. Pride Month with Admiral Teag is going to be a fucking panic. We have like 2 events for Pride Month. They're both going to be fucking hilarious. Believe me. JT, Sean, and Germ, and me planning a Pride event is freaking hilarious. All right, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Let's get Sydney Sweeney on here, as I promised. Bye!
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
I still can't believe they accidentally nuked themselves with their weirdo weapon. Bye, everybody.